personally, right? And I think from a sales standpoint, it's proven as well too. But yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction for sure.
I like this. Let's cut the crap. Xbox lost. All right, Kinson, 21-21.
All right, guys, put it in the chat before we leave. Boom. PS5 or Xbox?
That's crazy.
Put it in the chat there. I'm putting mine in. Oh, I messed up. PS5 or Xbox? Let's see what we got going on.
I'm going to put PS5, just because you said PS5. I have no idea. I haven't played any of these in a long time.
That's crazy. Yeah, PS5 is out all day. See, look at the complete domination here.
PS5,
from PS5. Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
I mean, I used to be an Xbox guy, but yeah, I mean, there goes some Xbox.
Oh, this is getting crazy.
So, yeah, there we go. PS5.
All right,
there we go.
give Adara an opportunity to chime in. Adara, do you have anything that you want to mention for GameStop?
Oh, very much so. So I don't know if you guys have seen the post. Here is the post. If you haven't seen it, I do want to show it here. White House power to the player, and they did literally repost the initial GameStop post, which I think is interesting. Now, this is honestly not super shocking here from the White House. This is the same account that posted, and I quote, "Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that we can't post banger memes." Dynamite emojis. So this is not, this is very much, I think, par for the course. But what I think is interesting is how GameStop's one kind of joking post, then reposted by the White House, led to this massive move in the stock. I think it's just kind of an interesting testament to how the market works sometimes. And I honestly am just going to kind of stand back and smile, because that's one of the things I really find interesting, specifically from a news perspective. You really never know what's going to move the market. In this case, who would have thought that Trump dressed as Halo would be it?
I got to tell you, that was like the second most important post by the White House Twitter account, because I told you on TikTok they use that Maui Wowie song as their background, which is absolutely hilarious. President Trump, I think he's in Malaysia and he's like dancing to this.
Teaching people how to dance.
He's dancing and they have that song in the background, which I found to be hilarious. Anyway, guys, it is 2:02:20.
Yeah.
And I got to weasel my way up to the big desk to do the afternoon rundown. Thank you, Joey, for being on.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm here. I'm on every day. Yeah, I'm on here every day.
I had nothing to say.
I was going to say, guys, don't get it twisted. We all know that the best system of all time is Nintendo 64. We're going to leave it at that.
Crazy.
We're going off to the big
Master
boys.
System.
We're rocking and rolling.
Sega Master System.
No, man. N64, brother. It's just how it goes.
Those are pretty good. They're all right. Those systems, I mean, Xbox, everyone's like PlayStation, Xbox, you just heard Nintendo 64, Sega Master System. But I mean, the real OGs, triple OG, got to break out the old Atari right up in here. That's right. And trust me, you were a boss if you had this.
We had ColecoVision.
Coleco, that's another OG move right there. OG, triple OG. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it probably is in the, like, what? You know what? Actually, this is true. In Budapest, there was this weird museum we went into when it was raining one day, and we're like, well, we just looked up on our phone, like, what's around? Yeah. And there was this, like, random museum, and in there they had all kinds of, like, old technology. And they were showing all the old video games. And they had the Atari, they had the ColecoVision, like, all that stuff that, like, when we were, I mean, whatever, like, when we were kids. Was up. No,
my dad had ColecoVision. I remember playing some sort of a race car game on it. It was the best, man. I agree. I think N64. I have a PS5. We just play sports games, so I don't really know.
I mean, Mario Kart on N64.
Yeah, Mario Kart with N64, for sure. I've just been. We were short AMD, then we flipped over to the long. That's been printing. We tried to go short here against 255. Eventually broke higher. That's when we went to the long, and now that's really cooking. And we're still long from the morning time with NVIDIA. I mean, that was the plan of action, was to try to stay long these names. So we did that. And then the surprise to me, I mean, earlier on this morning, we said basically 2 trades in this name. And this is where we started the day. We were like, if it comes down into 430, that's a long, or you wait for this break right there of 450. And yeah, the first little break wicked right there, 1030, and then the next one, it was history. And you get the fake break back down into VWAP and take. So that's the play. Should be long Tesla, but hey, man, we're having a great day with NVIDIA, AMD, and Palantir. Palantir, again, we went long, reloaded it, got stopped out once we broke there. Now we're trying to figure it out. Wonder what this market's going to do here into the close. So join us. We'll go over all the names that you guys want to talk about as well. We don't have too many crazy earnings tonight. I think there's a few big names. There's Nucor, I think.
It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, not the big tech names start tomorrow. We'll talk about that. We'll go over the earnings calendar as well. And then we're 2 days away from Fed. So Wednesday, we'll get Fed Right there. What's up, Chef Joe says, oh, you went on that model. Yeah, version 14.1 on full self-drive. I don't know. I'm still nervous about the full self-drive, man. Even the lane assist, I'm like, is it going to stop or not? But I guess if you just got to trust it, right?
Yeah, you get it. Well, I mean, it's like anything else, man.
My car's charging in the basement right now.
People don't like to lose. I don't know how I'd feel about not being in control, but it's like anything else. Like, you get used to it.
It's like you're in a cab. I mean, when I'm in an Uber, I don't have control of the car, but I know there's a human there at least. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just got to trust it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's technology that you know is going to rule. So eventually, you know, everyone's going to get on board with it at some point. It's just a matter of doing so.
Get off the pot. But Tesla's been a huge stock today.
Oh my goodness, Tesla. That was probably no bigger surprise. Whatever. I traded it one time on Tesla. I'm actually looking for this trend break. Hasn't happened. I did take a trend break on Tesla earlier in the morning and then got out before VWAP. This time, I don't even expect, I'm not even thinking VWAP at this point. If it breaks trend, I'm thinking 454 and 456. So it's from here, the parabolic break at like 11, whatever that is, like 11:20 or so, trend up, breaks the trend line on a 3-minute, I'm getting out, or sorry, getting in, I should say. ASST just pulled into VWAP. I was looking for some small cappers that were going. I still like IBIT, but I got out at the top and looking to get back into the dip, but I saw ASST made the move into VWAP. And it's done 730 million shares, so I guess the baton got passed to them today to go for 1 billion shares on a small capper. And it's bouncing off the volume weighted average price. Look for it to play into the high. It's got a double top that could break out. It's like a day two, obviously. Dead cat bounce, I guess, is the best way to call it when it's come from $15. So day one, day two, it's holding up. As long as it holds VWAP, let's play it into the high here. And as always, let us know what you guys are interested in. I don't feel like there was much change on this board this morning. Like it was, I know ASST's always been there. Tesla's been the whole time. Qualcomm with the news, DVLT, AMD, SoFi. But I'm going to give this one a fresh start because it's the afternoon. So remember, jump in the chat. Got to be a subscriber to jump in the chat. And $ in your system. So for all of you that got ahead of yourselves, I just did the restart now. Right, I'll just type. Get up in there. I don't know. I don't want to just randomly type the stock that I happen to be in. So I'll give a nod to SoFi because I feel like we didn't really cover SoFi that much this morning. And SoFi was having a pretty good day. So Snowflake, a couple of people typing in there. I know that. And now SoFi's up to 3. See, we'll jump back and have a look at this, and now everyone's just copying with SoFi.
Like SoFi.
I feel like it's because I just said SoFi.
I think so, but ASST is. I mean, it's still going to be a lot of the same ones.
Yeah.
It's funny because SoFi's not really moving that much, you know, the last little while.
Oh, Tesla's breaking that trend line.
It's up to 260 right now. All right, when we're ready with Sharif, you can let us know on. Yeah. Okay. No worries. We'll do that.
Oh, it's Joe's food.
Yeah, Joe reheat the tilapia.
I'm like, what am I smelling?
Oh yeah, that's right. Joe said no tilapia. Smart guy.
Well, that's why it smells good.
Yeah, chicken. I mean, we put wings yesterday. We had a bunch of wings yesterday. And of course, the #1 team in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers, now 5-1-1.
Tucker
Not
Kraft,
my
baby.
rankings.
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft is amazing. Second year
beast.
Tight end for the Green Bay Packers. Him and Luke Musgrave trying to go off there.
You have a third
National Tight End Day.
You guys have a third blocking tight end too. Because there was a guy I didn't recognize on like two. They had like two tight end sets, and I'm like, who's this dude?
Number 88 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out. There's 88, 85 is Kraft, and then there's like 88 and 86. Musgrave and some other dude. Because the Bills are doing that more, which I'd like to see. The Bills finally did what they're supposed to do. I was like, if they don't put up a bunch of points on Carolina, I'm going to be worried about it. And then they dropped 40. So at least for now, Joe Brady gets a little bit of a reprieve in my estimation. But it's not lasting forever, Joe.
All right. So yeah, we'll go to NFL talk. I have no idea what. Oh, the Monday Nighter tonight is
KC.
Oh, KC Washington.
I was going to say Daniels.
KC Washington. Okay.
Is Jane Daniels?
Apparently, I'm playing Jay, who has Marcus Mariota in.
Oh, so he must not be playing.
I'm assuming it's Jaden Daniels is a no-show. Which is great for KC.
Yeah.
Not great for the Bills, of course, because they need to get that L for KC. But the Chargers look pretty good right there. What was a good AFC team, Pittsburgh, but those jerseys yesterday, man, I tweeted that
I hate those jerseys.
Like, I tweeted those jerseys out yesterday. I turned them on, and I was like, what in the hell? Right here.
I don't know what they're.
I don't know. This is not even a good picture, but like these jerseys were kind of crazy there. I don't know. They look like pylons out there. I mean, we made them look like pylons, but their jerseys also like a little strange on that one. It's funny because Pittsburgh had the lead at half. All right, so IBIT right here. Bitcoin still going higher. Right now, we're at the highs. So days high right here for BTC. Really didn't like VWAP or anything early. Since we've broken up above, it's starting to trend a little long right now is IBIT. So we'll give that a go when we see fit. But right now, we're ready to go. So we can go back over to the desk now. You guys voted during the midday. I've got $2 right now on NVIDIA and $1 on AMD, but let's go find out what you guys want us to look at.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys, they're locked and they're loaded and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers right there is to get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. You have until 2 o'clock to vote. Make sure, though, to throw in that $ before the ticker of your choice. Let's start here by looking at the NQ, and we are at all-time highs on the NASDAQ. We're up 1 2/3%. Guys, we are knocking on the door of 26,000. We're at 25,927 with the overnight high, or the day high, I should say, at 31. Likewise here with the ES trading into all-time highs as well. 1% green on the day. 5 points, guys, away from 6,900 as we close in on that, yes, 7,000 point level. The Dow up 0.43, you know, not too bad of a day, above 47,600, and the Russell up 0.25%, the weakest of all 4 major averages, and giving back about 0.85% since we rang the bell. Let's look, though, at the first name as decided by you guys, TSLA. What a move up here into 460. We were talking about that 440 resistance level in the pre-market. Tesla up 5 2/3 on the back of a headline today from Cantor. They maintain their overweight rating on the stock, guys, and they boost the price target from 355 to 510.
Tesla, as Randy goes, 510. Tesla is...
It'll be 510 tomorrow.
It could be. 480, I think, is a little bit more likely, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh, what just happened?
I mean, it probably won't be 510 tomorrow, but I mean, the fact that we're taking out some of those levels right now.
Wow.
Tesla. Well, you're in it. So.
Well, no, I actually just jumped.
Okay.
I just jumped out flat right here. Again, I'm going to give it a heartbeat, because on the way down, like, here's the thing. Like, it broke the trend line on the way down. Didn't really get it on the down move. You can see it already dropped $2. And then the next bar up, I was sort of able to get it back in here at 58.3. But I like trends when they work, when it starts to look weak right away. So I just jumped out of it flat. I might still jump back into the trade, but I was looking at the 15-minute. Again, it's a trend break. I should just still like it. You know what? If it holds this consolidation, I'll probably jump back into the short. But if you look at the 15-minute, like, this is a very clean break. And there's no real significance on the chart to the 4, like right here we are, 59.60. If anything, the gap up is another like $10 higher to a big resistance level. But that 450, that was a fail break. Tesla is Jekyll and Hyde. 2 days ago, it goes absolutely ham to the upside, and then it completely falls apart, failing 450, and then it breaks 450. So I don't know, like, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's going to be some kind of fake out break trade that tanks, and then you buy the dip. I think that's the pattern it's going with. I just think no matter what, if it gets back to 450, it was resistance for so long, I just play that for support until proven otherwise. But as for now, yeah, I might hop back into this. Futures are still, like, futures are going higher while this is consolidating. It's kind of hasty to maybe have gotten out of that one flat. It's still holding consolidation. If this bar closes holding this 458 to 458 half area, then I probably jump into this on a 3-minute chart here for Tesla, because it's still valid, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about it earlier on. If you just rewind it to 9 o'clock, when we had this exact same question before, it was like the 450 break or the 430 long. Like, either way, it was going to be a long. We said you could try the short right in there in 450, which actually worked. The very first time it broke 450 right there, it pulled back into 446. So you had a nice little winner there on that fake and break. But, you know, to hold that, I guess it only went to 450.60, so probably worth it there if you're holding something. But yeah, at the end of the day, not a great trade here. Anyway, it doesn't look like it to break through 460. That's going to be the next look for me right now. I'll take it if it breaks 460, But until then, man, we sort of got to wait. That is actually broken through 460. We have 462 written as the high. I don't think that's, yeah, 460 flat, basically 460.15. But, you know, breaking stuff out right now at this time of day is not necessarily, I was going to say, it's possibly not a prescription for success, or a recipe or prescription, I guess. But what about just back into the 200 period moving average? It really hasn't seen that all day. So let's see if there's a push down into 456 here for Tesla. But wow, version 14 getting rolled out. People are loving it, I'm assuming. We've seen it in the chat. A lot of traders here that have Teslas. I mean, I do as well. I really love driving the car, but this FSD might be the next thing. We talked about where their margins are coming from. You know, you subscribe to $100 a month for full self-drive, or you pay them flat out when you go to the dealership or whatever you want to do. That's a high margin business. It's all software. It's already installed in the computer, the hardware. So you download it, you activate it, it's money for Tesla. It's what's going to be sort of driving this robo-taxi feel as well. So here it comes, man, right back up to 460. What about just waiting for 461 to break and then just going off of that? You know, and then using 460 as your top, so you're not like dancing with 460 exactly. Maybe give it a little bit of room. I think I like that. Why don't we just go long 461? That way we can give it $1 worth of room, and if it continues to go higher, then great. I think that's going to be the play that I'm going to try. 460, maybe 460.50 or something, long break, hold it back for about $1 and give that the room it deserves there on Tesla. But starting to go higher, up 6%, did not expect that. Wow, the NASDAQ, like I checked the account today, it is humming right now. Obviously all-time highs in the long-term portfolio and in the TFSA. So it makes me a little bit nervous. Sitting on some cash though, which is fine. I like that. Maybe buy some gold, but buy some Tesla has been a really good dip buy opportunity. But it's still in that zone, right? Like 420 up to 460 right now. So it's going to break, and next leg is higher, man. I mean, especially if a lot of these names are going to report better than expected this week. Tesla's just going to have fun with it. Nice move there today. Congratulations to everybody that bought it earlier today. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it's just really been straight up the whole day.
Before we talk about ASST at the desk, the stock that's going to beat it to 1 billion shares, CODX. I didn't even realize this was going to beat. It's at 900 million shares and halted at the high of the day. The indicated open is $1.30. So Diagnostics, hey, that's exactly how. Sometimes they make it easy, right? But they'll take that ticker. Should be a 5-minute volatility halt for Diagnostics as it hunts for 1 billion shares. That's pretty much a lock at this point. We'll check this one out, but let's go talk about ASST, the other small capper doing tons of volume. Yes?
Sorry, I'm just watching Ram's latest video on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure to check that out. All right, guys, Strive, ASST, as Neil was pointing out, surging 40.5% after the Vivek Ramaswamy-backed Bitcoin treasury company posted this X post here from Mike Alfred, who is a board member at Backed Holdings. He said the following: I have taken an initial 1 million share stake in Strive Asset Management, ASST. Strive is one of the most promising BTC treasury companies globally, trading at an attractive level. You simply do not want to bet against a generational talent like Ben Workman. He posted on X, and that has this stock up almost 41%, guys.
Yes, sir. And you know what? I was just here. We're going to talk about this in a second, but there's a point to be made. The Miami Exchange, which came to market just recently, is just one of the gateways. Here, like, is these guys. See, MIAX, these guys, and MEMEX. You'll see them on all these stocks, bid-ask. When volumes are like this, stocks doing 1 billion shares here, there, the market's at all-time highs, everyone's into trading. Like, this stock, how many IPOs look like this year? Where there's a few red days in there, but it is just a very, very clean, no-nonsense upward trend. Why? Because it's good business to simply make markets and provide liquidity. So this exchange doing really well. But ASST, okay, this is, like I said, more of a dead cat bounce play than anything else, because it's just going, it broke the dollar level on Friday, and then it's just sort of holding it above. Like right now, you've got a very key 150 area that it dropped off from on the 10th, right there at the close. So that's what's holding in the volume weighted average price. So I just kind of went long on VWAP in here, looking to play into the high, and as long as it holds right around this 150, I think just reloading that. And I'll keep an eye on CODX as well. Like both of these, very, very active. So play it off the volume weighted average price. you always have to be careful because you get a few more days of this and you always have that risk of an offering. And if you're swinging and not day trading it, then you should keep that in the back of your mind and take some profit, have stops, that sort of a thing. But for at least the second day now, ASST looking pretty good. That hold of the dollar level is always key for these types of stocks. Let's see if it can stair step it up to 2. But for now, CODX is a little bit stronger.
All right, a stock that many of you own, and we've talked about this on the show numerous times, and we got questions about it last week. It's BigBear AI. As we say what's up to the army over there, the BigBear Brigade, as I've seen many of you call it. And look, I'm happy to be a member of that. We've been buying BigBear AI, and we just bought it off this last dip there at 650. We got some questions about that. 750, right? I mean, we talked about 650, 750, 850, and then it turned out to be 950, but we didn't get out at the top. We're actually waiting to blow out this. We got to wait for their quarter coming up. We get a lot of questions about BigBear AI, and I always look up their earnings, and then I always forget. So hold on a second here. I'll go look it up because some reason November 4th is in my head, but it might be even the 14th. Hold on a second here. There's BigBear AI. We're going to go over there, and it is the confirmed deal. Okay, none of those. It is the 10th. So we'll wait there for the 10th for their next earnings report. And again, remember, they're not even expected to turn EPS positive. So we got to hopefully get that going. It's been negative EPS the whole way through, right? So we're going to wait to see if BigBear can turn it around. And every time someone asks me, is it time to buy this thing? I think it's better to wait for earnings so we can get a good idea. It's going to go upside or downside one way or the other on earnings. The last time it went whoops, it was cruising, went whoops right there on their August quarter, and then that got us into the 200 again, which was the juiciest spot to buy, and then we ripped back up again. So BigBear AI on the watch. We got super chats last week. I was like, let's do this, let's buy that. So there it is right there. And meanwhile, we just got another fill right there. There it is, man. Again, we were short out on 255, not even on 250. Yeah, 255 break. Then we reloaded the 255 break, and then it was good to go. So now AMD starting to go back upside on. News is coming on this in a minute, and it has to do with Qualcomm. So these stories are kind of intertwined. Let's go back over to Sharif and figure out the story with Qualcomm, and then we'll talk about how we traded it.
Well said, Katina, man. Yeah, big day today, as you guys can tell, for Qualcomm. Currently 12.5% in green, but I saw it as high as 20. It broke through that 205 area, retracing a little bit down into 190, and the shares jumped big today after it announced it was launching a new AI accelerated chip to rival Nvidia. So the AI 200, that's their first chip. That's going to start shipping in 26. The AI 250, that's coming out later into 2027, excuse me. Both will be available as a standalone component or cards that can be added into existing machines. We know Qualcomm typically focused on semiconductors for mobile devices. Their first time they were throwing their hat into the AI chip ring separately. They did announce as well a collaboration to deploy advanced AI infrastructure in Saudi Arabia for global inferencing under the Humane program. Keep an eye on that, and that has shares here up 12.43%.
These guys are only 16 times earnings, and with this bump, I mean, they just said it's $1 to $2 billion potentially of growth with this deal in revenue, and their revenues are like just over 10 billion. So like this, it's barcoding right now because I feel like they just sort of priced it in here, saying, okay, well that range is over 10%. Let's settle it down at 12%. So I don't know if there's going to be much action here in Qualcomm because it went ham off the story. But look how long it's settled right in at $190 after what was like complete. It was just complete nonsense. It was a monster seller at the 205 level. I think he let this one settle down, but I actually didn't realize Qualcomm's not a stock I've ever owned before. 16 PE is pretty good, and this is a decent sized break. So, this could be one where let it settle down for a couple of days. If it holds this prior high at 185 to the 190 range and right around that 10% bump up, if given this is what the projection is going to be, yeah, I kind of like this. I don't know if I'd want to buy it here today, but yeah, I had no idea that this was so cheap, realistically. Let it settle down. We've seen this before. Like, we'll talk AMD next, but I mean, AMD is an example sometimes when you get this parabolic type of a move on like a deal announcement, and you have to wait for it to settle down. And it did. Like, it put in some higher lows, showed you that it was still going to be strong off those dips, and like on the the third day provided you a strong day to work off of, and then gave you this on the fifth day. 5th, 6th, and 7th days, you could have had this consolidation. Now it's gone 15%. But we'll talk about AMD next. I think Qualcomm, let it try to do something similar instead of trying to buy this top.
Yeah, what a good deal there for Qualcomm. I mean, anybody that knew that was like a 14, 15, 16 PE, I mean, you would have been thinking about buying it, I would have thought. At those levels. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for. So anybody else have any other tech names that are like that? Because your boy is all about that, if you can let me know where that is. So, all right, so that's that. That kind of a move right there, obviously it happens intraday, and obviously Oracle's was 40% or whatever it was, but it does remind me of this a little bit. So just be weary that we could always, always, always come back in. So watch out for Qualcomm. I mean, Oracle's come right back in as well. We were lucky enough to dump some of that, and we don't even have a very good price where we dumped it, but we have a good one anyways up here at 319. Thinking about buying more back in here. I just looked at Oracle's PE. It's 50, so it's nowhere near levels that I'm happy with, but it's just similar. Where you get that bump up there. Obviously, this was intraday in Qualcomm, but still an outsized move getting you into some levels. Oracle dropping back in again right now. So I like the stock. Don't like it enough. That's Qualcomm, but great story for them. And the story is, obviously, we're talking about AMD. We're going to get to that right now. And then I have many trades on AMD today, so we'll discuss that very, very soon with Sharif now.
Yeah, Katina, man, it's a good headline, brother. Here, Reuters reporting that the U.S. Plans to build 2 supercomputers using AMD's chips in a $1 billion collaboration, reported or sort of announced by the Energy Secretary Chris Wright, as well as AMD CEO Lisa Su, who told that to Reuters. The U.S. is aiming to use these machines for running experiments to accelerate scientific discoveries, I should say, excuse me, reports Reuters. So up 1.25% here, but a little bit off the highs.
So we had, we have AMD right from the beginning of the day here. So I'll just call this up just real quickly. We can discuss it. So, we were long. It was good. We were fighting the long, which was completely wrong. I mean, I wanted to go into a hot stock today. AMD's been super hot, obviously, over the last little while. You see it gapped up higher there today. So I was just kind of like, hey, man, maybe if we fall back in and we wrote it down, as the long should start at around 257. If not, we get a 260 break. Well, we don't get that 260 break, so all we wound up doing was waiting for 257, but that came like, I was not sitting there. It just came really quick. Once we thought maybe we found a bottom, that's when we started to go long. We dipped our toe in at 255. Then we saw that some of these bottoms were made a little bit there. We gave this like 40, 50 cents, was making some money, dropped out there at 254, losing that dollar, then back up again, and it was all good. Then we get that news that came through. We buy, it was all good. Then I did leave a bid here as we left. I'm fine, I wasn't in a huge position. We tried to take it off VWAP. It did go up another $1.50 in the money. Was not here for that, was over at the gym. Came back in, breaks VWAP at the time, whatever it was. We get stopped out there for like 50 cents. And then when we came back, I was like, you know what, let's go short against this level. It was underneath VWAP. It was trying to figure itself out. It was weaker than the market. I mean, the fact that the market's up 1.5% and AMD's only up 1.3, I mean, we don't get that sort of difference too often. So I was going short. Then we were like, you know what? It's just in this range, and if it breaks higher, then we want to go long, and that's exactly what we did. Breaks through 255 there. We take the long. We're still long 255. It's $1 in the money. But look, it's not going higher than where we are right now. So just a couple good outs in and around 256. We're holding it for $1. It's been good. We have NVIDIA on as well. We have a very small piece. We're letting that one run, but I don't know. I like AMD here today. I think tomorrow maybe for a long, but for right now, not great.
I feel like it's like Tesla.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like lately, like if you look at the last, I'm not going to bother with the 15-minute chart, but like the last few days, it's like, okay, nasty down day, a couple of strong up days. And then, I mean, it's been mostly up if you just go by time, because since like 10:24, it's been trending up. But I still think like the open qualified is like that nasty down day. So maybe the easier up day is going to be tomorrow. Like nasty down, a couple of days strong to the upside. I think I'll put that into my thoughts. I really just traded it off the 254 level and the volume weighted average price very similarly. So unless it gets back down there, I don't know if there's going to be too much of a thing. And then as we were just talking about with regards to Qualcomm, like this is what like AMD, instead of like breaking out and just doing absolutely nothing, it broke out, consolidated with clean higher lows into an uptrend. This is a new uptrend that AMD's on. And so it's just the second day, it needs time to calm down. Like after breaking out the first time, it kind of needs to settle to find a level of support. Maybe we're still in the process of doing that, but the stock is absolutely on fire. Valuation relative to Nvidia be darned here. This is not like Qualcomm where it's cheap. This one's flying and it's expensive.
All right, guys, every year 3.8 million concussions are reported in the United States, and we all know that there is no FDA-approved treatment, but there is NYSE-listed Oragenics. Symbol is OGEN, and they are changing that with their first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach nearly $9 billion by 2027. Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. If you're looking to find out some more and schedule a meeting, please scan that QR code or simply go to oragenics.com and figure it all out. So there it is. We want to thank OGen for their continued sponsorship of the show. And go back over to Sharif for one more name, and this time it's SoFi.
Yeah, Katina, man, they report tomorrow before the bell, and the market is expecting about a 12% move, plus or minus. Give you an idea of what it did last time. It moved up 6.5% last time, so almost double the range is what's being expected. And here's what we're expecting in terms of earnings. EPS to come in at 9 pennies on revenue of $895.01 million, implying about a 28% year-over-year, or sorry, quarter-over-quarter rise there for revenue, 28% quarter-over-quarter. It's been chopping a little bit, guys, here in October, but finally breaking out above that $30 area momentarily, dropping now, still up 3%.
Yeah, these guys and PayPal, PayPal, UNH.
PayPal.
There's a lot before the bell here tomorrow.
Wow, PayPal's going to be, ooh.
Yeah, because it's really like we just get Celestica aftermarket tonight, and then I guess all of the action really starts in the morning. I think I saw 7 a.m. or something like that for PayPal, and didn't really catch the time for SoFi. But I mean, it's trying to break out. I feel a little bit differently about this move in SoFi, knowing that it's reporting in the morning. So obviously, this is a good time to wait for that report. I know last time it was I really felt last time these guys reported it was going to be a pullback into the 50 period despite the beat, and then it turned out to be. Sure, it wick-topped and pulled back, so you thought it was going to head down, but got bought up the next day. And that second day after earnings, here the July earnings, like this second day was just the bottom. It gave you 1 day dip and then just higher lows all the way through. So I still favor a dip buy with SoFi when it comes to earnings. It just so happens that being at $30 right now, 10% down's easy math at 27. If it does one of those double-digit dips, that's right into the 50-period moving average. So I think that's my initial thought, regardless of how the report goes. Especially, I want them to beat. I mean, if it's a terrible report, who cares? But if they dip on a good report, I think you pick it up at that 50-period moving average here for SoFi. I was gonna say I was kind of thinking earlier. If it could break away from 30, maybe there's a trade this afternoon, but knowing it reports in the morning, I might stay away from that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was tomorrow morning either, but yeah, look, I mean, banks are strong again here today. I was just looking at JP Morgan's up 0.8, but the banks have fallen a little bit off of their earnings, so I don't know what to expect with SoFi. To me, it's stay away. I mean, I'm still long as hell on SoFi. Like, I'm pretty max long, so I'm happy with it. But if it does dip down in, I want to buy it, but I don't want to take the shot here into earnings hoping that it explodes. We're already long. So if you're not long, I like the stock, and I think there's a good chance for this name to blow out, right? But I mean, again, I'm not certain. We did have some student loan talk. I think it was a couple weeks ago where SoFi started going up on some student loans there. I don't know. Can't remember what it was with President Trump. I know Biden was all about the loans and everything like that. So I don't know, but anyways, the market's coming back in right here, so I like SoFi. It's just, I'm already long. I can't think that it's going to be a long into earnings. It's so difficult to make these calls. It's just been on such a nice run. I'd say let it settle down and then hope for, I don't want to say hope for a miss, but if you're trying to get longer, then you do wish for a miss. But there's nothing wrong with also buying up. I averaged up into that trade, so yeah, I like it. We bought it in the probably low teens. and then averaged up into it at 25.50. So I do like it. The market's finally starting to come in a little bit. I don't want everyone to be like, this is the short now. The Nasdaq's still up 1.6, although this is a nice move. I'm just wondering if it needs to break right in and around here, 25.9, before we get too excited right now. So basically this 200 period, look, we haven't really touched it at all. Obviously right there around 10 o'clock, we did a little bit of a dip and a duck there, but since then, it's still upside. So instead of waiting for this thing to break to go short, I mean, if we get any news in our ear and the market wants to go, then I can use that. But for now, if we just kind of drift down in, I'm sort of looking to pick something up maybe around 115.75. That's not that far away right now, right? So the market just dips down a little bit and we might be able to activate. Or you could go short now, which I don't hate, this risk to reward. But the thing is like, even to throw good money after bad, I think I said it the wrong way last week. There's no points in really shorting this unless you think the market, like you might as well wait is what I'm getting at. Like you short it now and you break out that high, it's only 15 cents. It's actually well worth the risk to reward by far. But I'm not sure the market is a short, so I'm gonna stay away. I did see some people asking in the stock, in the chat about that, but CODX is the one right now, Diagnostics, that really seems to be going. I know Adara's back on the desk now, so we get the story on this one when we get a chance, but CODX, yeah, still going off right now. I mean, on the daily, we're well above right now. It looks like we will do that billion plus share mark. Yes,
sorry,
Adara.
to clarify, TODS.
Sorry, Charlie, Oscar, Delta, xylophone.
Okay, I have a story. So apparently they have signed a joint venture with a Saudi Arabian firm for Middle East market. That was as of 8:30 this morning. Nothing else since then.
Okay, yeah, so right now we're just, I don't know, it's kind of off into its own little world right now, up 300%. We've seen this happen before. So that story along with short float possibilities here of nothing, it shows on here. 45 million shares though, which is not that much. 0.25 short, that's not going to be right, I would imagine. But you're up 300% and still going higher right now. So yeah, I would say pulling back into the 200, pulling back into the 50 is what you're kind of looking for. But there it goes, man. CODX looking at 1 billion shares right now, 990. So wow, good name there. Watch out for some dilution, man. I mean, if they have anything set up for an offering, you may get a quadunk at any moment. Now we saw one with SCNX last week, and we wait out now for
something happening on Amazon
on CODX. Okay, news with Adara.
Amazon dropping sharply here, I mean relatively anyway here. AMZN reportedly going to be cutting up to 30,000 jobs starting on Tuesday. Apparently the layoffs will begin this week. So Amazon, again, reportedly set to cut up to 30K jobs starting Tuesday. Layoffs reportedly set to start this week. If I get more details, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was more like that Amazon movement. It only went $1, but it's the fact that it was just breaking out, and then that's a real wick. Like it slammed back a little bit lower there on the Amazonian, which is, look, Amazon's been great off the earnings level of it's like 211.5, 212, but it's double topped at those highs. So, I mean, if I was swing trading, which I'm not, I'm holding it, I think if it goes another like $5 to $10, you take profit at that high, which could be a triple top. But 30,000 in job cuts, I mean, don't we usually rally on that? I guess not in this particular case. So I'll stay away from that story. There's a bit of a weird price action there. I feel like usually, like you said, you're cutting costs, usually going to work out pretty well. But not this time. I'm going to get on the 60 level here for ASST and then jump back on the bid. Maybe try to get actually 151 here. Oh, and that CODX stock. Bit of a pullback. It got to 150 and is dipping. Let's see if it can hold the prior high. That's $1. I mean, $1.20 to $1.25. So that range in here as it starts to pull back, you want to be able to, if you're stepping up, you want to be able to hold the prior high when you do a bit of a breakout. So volume on both these names, let's see if they can hold up much better. And I jump back and look over at the visualizer. It's still literally SoFi, Tesla, ASST, CODX. Those are the top four. Then BBAI, which I already talked about, AMD, which you're already in. But the next name on the list is something we did not talk about. We don't have to talk about this one in particular because I think you could also talk about the SMR, but OKLO almost a full V-shaped recovery. You'd be hard-pressed to have found something that was having more trouble earlier today. Then Oklo SMR was also having a pretty bad day in the nuclear space. But big-time V-shaped recovery, green on the day again, and now up 2%. I think the 140 is going to be key. Like if it can't get back above the 140, you could see some profit taking come into this. It's a bit of a relief rally coming in here, but the all systems go for big cap tech is all systems go for the for the nuclear energy names as well. Just understand where they've come from. Like the stock went down $70 in like a week and a half. So do be careful, as it's a very volatile name, as we all know. This is not a quote unquote safe play, and the valuations are very stretched in names like Oklo and SMR. Adara?
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here as well with regards to nuclear. There's another play today that I mentioned during the midday, Next Era Energy, announcing, or I guess reporting here by Fox Business, that Google and Next Era are teaming up here to revive a nuclear plant that's been shuttered previously, again, in the U.S. So NEE and OGL, this was a story earlier today in the nuclear space. NEE did make a bit of a move on it, but obviously given back all of that push here. Again, Fox Business reporting that Google and Next Era Energy teaming up here to revive a nuclear plant. Back to you.
Just a quick little update here, and I'm going to show you something else. We just got another piece out on AMD. It doesn't look like it really wants to do too much, so it takes them out at 56, which is your 50-period moving average. I'm now waiting here at 50. Yeah, it looks like Target continues to go to the upside here, and the reason why I bring this up is that it makes me think about that Amazon trade, because Target just last week announced 1,800 layoffs coming there, so it's still not great. But if you guys remember, this is why. I mean, go follow me here. I just found this tweet. This is October the 6th. We tweeted out, Joe. Bought some Target here, all-time low valuation. I think there could be some activism soon. We bought it at 89 bucks. Right there, Target. It's now 97. So we have the receipts right here. There's many receipts like this, but there it is right there. So bought it down here. We mentioned we bought it, so go follow at TraderTV Sean. More plays like this, and then we can call this up. We can call up some of our bad plays as well. We can call up where we talked about Oscar down there at $13. That would be a good one. We could talk about where we put up some Lululemon as well. And this one, hey man, we bought Lululemon's not doing that well. It's doing well today, but I knew this deal with the NFL. We sort of talked about that earlier, and I said, well, they did a deal with the NHL last week, and not much happened. So it looks like right now today, same kind of ways now for Lulu hitting the skids on that NFL deal. But this one hadn't been well. We had gone long a little bit pre-earnings, just rated, pre-earnings. And then we went long post-earnings right into here. So we've got like a 200 plus a 165. So we're about flat. I actually meant to go look it up. I think we didn't buy enough to be exactly flat. We're still down on that one. But Target, that was a good idea. And then it's funny because Neil mentioned, and we can go over who's reporting tonight and tomorrow and all that stuff, but UNH. So we'll see. Yeah, so we'll see if Oscar could get going on that one. We had recently, like I said, we bought this pre-earnings as well down here at 13 and change and tweeted it out. And then we also got out near here. We got out on the upside too, around 20, and then we got out up here as well when it came through, but I still have like 70% of this. So if this is a dog and comes all the way back down, we'll buy more, but not really celebrating out a full position or anything like that, as I still want to stay net long everything. Every idea I have, I want to stay net long, and part of the reason is like for names like what we see happen in Roblox. I bought this one at 30 bucks 2 summers ago, and that was because my kids are Roblox obsessed, and that worked out well. This summer would have been the same kind of a thing. If you buy it in the spring, thinking your kids are going to be on it all summer, well, there it goes to the upside. And I always want to hold on to a little bit of a runner. So we have 15 to 20% of this one, because when we got out, like I was saying, it was back here. We were buying it, and then into the summer it started to rip up, and then got out, and for double or whatever it was, did fall back into 50 bucks, and then took off again into the summer months. Now we'll wait to see Roblox right now having some issues. We talked about the security of children and all this kind of stuff. There's some senators that were obviously not long Roblox stock and hating on the people that were. And
maybe they're long now.
Yeah, maybe they're long now. Yeah, once they drop whatever they have a problem with. But anyways, no, I don't want to.
No, I don't. I don't
want to joke about that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. There's obviously some legitimate problems there, but I like the gaming stocks. We had EA Sports with the recent buyout, of course, and that continues to get settled. It's 210 or 209 or whatever the deal is going to be there. But we'll wait to see on this name, of course, Roblox and EA Sports, not Roblox, of course, with the buyout. So you can see that was kind of just hovering around. Yeah, it is in the game.
It is.
Right there. We like EA Sports. So we play. That's the PS5 talk. I bought PS5 only for NHL. And yeah, that was an expensive purchase, but it gets me and my daughter together watching and playing video games instead of her sitting on Roblox. And there's a few other fun games on PS5.
There's nothing wrong with Roblox.
We played baseball the other day on PS5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my daughter has a Switch. Yeah, so we'll usually do like the sports or Mario
Kart is.
Like it's if I'm playing, she has other games
That's a
too.
fan favorite.
But if I'm playing with her, it's one of those two.
Yeah.
It's like 75% chance we're playing Mario Kart, and then the rest. There's a few levels that she's
Skate
getting
3, what is that?
Skate 3?
This is Mike P. the Rider. That's okay. I'm just going to. Hey guys, to get into the chat, first of all, let me see how many people are subscribed. Let me see, 72.8? 78.4? 78.4? Okay, good. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Be part of a member because you can, I'll get that off. You can join us in the chat, show us things like you want, like Danny Patel right here is very, very excited about Lumen, as you can see. Fire, 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 fire. Lumen.
You got that Palantir deal.
Yeah, exactly. Palantir's loving some Lumen there as well. I have another little bit of an undercover radar stock that we can talk about when we get back, but let's go find out what Adara's up to.
Keep an eye on Blackline here. Doesn't look like there is a ton of volume on this, but I'm seeing a report from Bloomberg suggesting that SAP or SAP has made an approach for Blackline, which is a software firm. They offered, I guess they had an offering here to take this one private in the high 60s, but it was rejected. Talks are not current. So BL reportedly rejecting an offering here from SAP for a takeover. BL pushing a little bit higher. As you can see, a lot of volatile trading, though the stock has moved about $2.50 in this 1 3-minute candle, and this is a $59 stock, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Derek. Just with regards to Lumen, Alex Karp said Lumen deal can make AI data 200 times faster and incrementally cheaper. So that is obviously would be a good look. Oh, I'll pull up Lumen in a second, but we just got to that 160, almost a triple top here in ASST. So a couple legs. I'm going to hold for the break, see if it can't get to the 75. Hopefully it does that, but if it does dip into VWAP, I think I'd take at least one more shot. It's not even power hour yet, but Lumen is like now 14% higher for Lumen. Like this breakout, because it was a technical breakout on Thursday, I want to say. Yeah, Thursday it would have broken through that, past that 7 area through 750. My only concern is like when you get that day, like gap 1, gap 2, gap 3, sometimes you start looking for the top, at least a temporary top, and it is getting very close to the highs at $10. But look, it got the news that you want to hear, and absolutely flying today. I just feel like this is, if you were swinging at a ring the register kind of level, if you were sort of swinging it off of that 7 for sure. And let's be real, the small cappers had been flying around, but that CODX.
Is that a Billy yet?
Oh yeah, it just hit a bill now.
Did it, okay.
Well, not probably a couple minutes ago, but just hit $1 billion. It's still falling back into the prior high, so it hasn't caught that bid off the prior high yet. But this is the level that I'm looking at here on CODX as we go back to Adara.
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Beta Pro by Global X Canada. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the street. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leverage, inverse, and inverse leverage ETFs, launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3x bull and 3x bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special new fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. So if you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily. Learn more. Back to you.
Right. Adara, the busiest person here, I would think, but iRobot. Remember, you and I were talking about this last week. Remember, I Asimov there, Isaac Asimov. I messaged my son to talk about his books and whatnot live on the air. And
not looking good.
I don't know, man. Did we foresee something here with IRBT? No, there has to be down 40%. Okay, Adara's looking into it.
Down 34%.
There is something, Adara, because iRobot hit on CNBC on my.
Okay.
On my app.
Yeah,
Okay, what's up?
So I think I found it here. Weirdly, it wasn't on Benzinga yet, but I did a quick social media search and it came up really quickly.
Yeah.
So apparently, iRobot warned via a securities filing, so I'm guessing with the SEC, that its search for a buyer has hit a substantial roadblock after negotiations fell apart with its last remaining bidder. So we know
Amazon.
this one, a lot of people have been, maybe trying to make a deal with this one. We know Amazon was the most recent significant name, but either way, apparently iRobot via a securities filing revealed that hey, they're really having a hard time finding a buyer right now. That is why this dropped. Apologies, it was not on Benzinga at the time, and I found this on social media.
No apology.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
Come on. Like, I didn't know what the story was.
No. The only reason I was mentioning to Adair, I think there has to be one because it popped up on my CNBC
Also,
app.
look at the chart. Like,
yeah, and it's a major stock that there's a lot of people holding. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know. Remember we were talking about if they're only making those Roombas and stuff like that. So I don't know. I have a Roomba. I'm pretty sure ours is like a Roomba, but we bought it off Amazon. So I don't know if it's because Amazon. Or I don't know, actually, I shouldn't say we bought it off Amazon. I have no idea. I thought Amazon was initially involved with IRBT.
No, they tried to buy them.
Right. Yeah.
And the deal.
Remember you were saying Lena Khan. That fell.
No, they actually didn't get rejected. They pulled it because they didn't think they could get the deal through. Like they just kind of said, yeah, you know what, we're not going to go through with it because we don't think the environment's going to allow us to do it.
I'm going to make a crazy call here. Hold on a second, because before I do, let me see what the short float is. I think this is a buy. IRBT. You know, this just is one of those stocks, again, where I feel like if there is a decent, oh boy, it's 36% short float. Okay. Forget about Open Door, man. Maybe I got to go hold a sign outside Drake's house. You need to have a different person vacuuming your house because right now 37% short on iRobot, float of just 22 million. I know it's not doing this volume right now, but a $3 name. Hey man, if they can start to run this thing, iRobot could be something to look at for your own portfolios very, very soon. Just to think that, again, it has the right name. It could definitely, you know, we saw D-Nut run yesterday, or last week, sorry, not yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. What's up, Sunday? Oh, of course, Donut's at 420 now. Puff, puff, pass on that one. But we had this last week in and around $4. It got going there, and it was really on nothing other than like, oh, Donut, you know, the next kind of a name there. So I think IRBT, although I know they can't find any buyers, the minute that this hits the street, obviously it gets down 34, 35%, but there has to be someone, I'm not sure, looking in their numbers if there's any reason for anybody to buy this name, but again, you get a little bit of a short squeeze happening. What if there is another buyout rumor or something like that to iRobot? There's 37% short. That's going to be a huge problem. So I'm going to say right now, iRobot definitely on my eye right now because this is a name that could get going. Look, we've given you 10+% in target in 2 weeks. Obviously verified by that tweet. Well, maybe. Let me look at iRobot tonight, and we'll figure that one out. So I do like it downside there, IRBT. Good news story there, and possible catalyst to get long at some point.
Just heard that. Oh, that's Russell's phone.
That's the hockey night.
It's a hockey night in Canada. As
Maple Leafs win in overtime on Saturday, 4-3.
They're putting up the screen. Can you guys can see the panel right behind Sean's head.
There,
so
yeah, it's starting to go.
I don't know, what is that, like 15? Never mind. I was going to say, what, 15% done, but maybe not.
Maybe less.
A little bit less than that.
There's Marcus making sure it all gets going in there, and it's have to go panel by panel.
Wait till we have like the stock visualizer like right there behind us, so you can put this shot up, and you guys will. We don't even have to bring it up. You just always be able to see what the hot symbols are. Just an update.
You were an ASST.
I keep wanting to call, I almost say ASST every time, but it's not. It's a different stock. ASST did pop into 170, and then there was a big wall seller. Oh, you know what? That's why my high saying 176. It was a dark pool print this morning, but the high of the day is actually 171. It very briefly broke it and came back in, so I was looking to sell in front of 175, so I jumped out. There's still time in the day for it to dip potentially into VWAP, but there's also 160. Right in here. So if it pulls into the prior high, I don't mind checking for a dip buy at that price alongside of Codex. Like these are the two ones doing volume. Doesn't look nearly as strong in this dip yet, but it hasn't broken 125. Like to see it show a little bit more strength here. Volume fantastic still, but looking like it's on the back end of the trade, unfortunately. And then Tesla, I guess we should have stayed in Tesla short. And sneeze again. Held a trend. It's coming back down. I'd have been out anyways by this point. 456. Tesla up 5% today. Still super, super strong overall, but it looks like it might come in for a bit of a VWAP dip. Before it gets there, 453 might be a spot where it's able to catch a bit of a bid. So I'm still looking at ASST and CODX until proven otherwise. So that doesn't seem nearly as strong as it did before CODX. Well, that's better. This next 3-minute candle is looking better on CODX. Like if this one's starting to look strong. Nice little dip under 130 and then going to close above. So I'll probably give it to 129 or so and sit on the bid in front of that 30 on CODX.
I'm up 5 times more on Palantir than I am on anything else, and it's mainly because we had that first initial break 190. It worked, right? And that just started to rip right there, and then we were able to re-dip by right here into 190.50. But I'm just here to tell everybody, like, hey, everybody, I'm not doing anything right now with this name. I mean, I think if we can break above its afternoon levels of 191, then you can really get the party started. And it's a good thing that we didn't short the market, as we had mentioned, potentially getting involved with. Looks like it was just a dip buy opportunity, and there it goes, wicking that top right now goes the market. So wow, 1.7% today, just absolutely crushing right now. We'll go over the stock locator in a minute to see which name, the visualizer, to see which names you guys want us to talk about. But for right now, I mean, wow. NVIDIA, are we at or above all-time highs again for NVIDIA? NVIDIA right now, 190.84. I have 195 written down as an all-time high, so you're 2% away from that. Maybe tomorrow. Microsoft, I mean, get ready for the biggest and the baddest names coming later this week. Microsoft, 533. We talked about that 520 breakout. They had the best report last time out of all the Mag 7 names, so Microsoft looking great. Amazon hitting the skids a little bit with that 30,000 job. Cutting 30,000 jobs, but not much. Amazon still doing really great here. Obviously on the daily chart, one of the tech and Mag 7 names that aren't really, I mean, they're close to their highs, but they're not quite there yet. Meta also off of their all-time highs as well. They're reporting this week. That should be an absolute banger for sure. Eli Lilly's battle back today. I'm not really seeing too much red anywhere. We talked about the pure plays as far as retail is concerned. I don't know. Walmart had that awesome news the other day right here that spiked it with OpenAI, getting that up to 109, but that's faded off since there. Down 5% from their all-time high is Walmart. We'll see if OpenAI and Walmart can discuss and make public exactly what that was all about. Better shopping experience there, I guess, on their online portal. Looks like Costco still, look at this 910 area. It goes all the way back, right? 910 right there, 910 back here in January of 2025. So looks like Costco right now is just a moment away from potentially breaking through some of this support. But hey, if you like retail, I think you got to like Costco at some of these levels. Put in the stock in there if you guys like any other retail names. I think Costco's a good one, man. And so is Walmart. I really like both of those. I was actually looking for some oil names. All I see here is utilities. So we'll just click over here. This is just utilities, so it's not pure play energy. There has to be an energy segment.
Energy's here.
Where is it? Oh, right there in the middle. Where? Oh, energy right here.
I was just looking for it myself. That's why.
Okay, good. Yeah. So here's energy. So good look there. These guys report on Thursday or Friday. I think it might be Friday morning. XOM. What if I click on it? Does it say when it reports? No, but I believe it is Monday morning or Friday morning or Friday morning. Okay, so boom, right? Adair just
look now.
Okay, hold on a second. I have something to say when Adair does that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Adair, for confirming Friday. So we'll wait for ExxonMobil and CVX. I mean, I think there is some. Whoopsies, I just closed it. I didn't mean to do that. I think there is some love for these names, especially if energy prices. There's been a lot of talk that they've been getting hit, obviously, pretty recently, but that $60 mark still remains true. CL, it's Z, right, is what we want to look for the December contract. So here it is right here. Yeah, so it's still bouncing off in and around that 60. We got into like 56, didn't we? Yeah, so there's, wow. This is a nice bounce back there. And again, like, maybe it doesn't matter, man, like what you're looking at. Well, if you just drop into support, sometimes you can find some gems. And it looks like the oil was another one of those examples. Nice. Wow, buying that dip, man, in oil. That gave you like 10% in 2 days there on CL, so crude by itself. And then you can play levered ETFs too.
That's sort of the thing. Like if you find a support level that you like, that's the key. Like buying over and over and over again. Like I said, I was doing that with Oxy at one point in my TFSA.
That's a good one.
And then the Buffett level just died. Here, just very quick, and then I'll go to Oxy in a second. But I did try the bounce in CODX, not Code. What am I want to say Codec for some reason, but it's a Codex. 32, and then just put my stop underneath at 29. Like risked it about 3 cents there. It looks like this one, not nearly as strong as it was before going into power hour, but
AMD's going nuts, I think.
What happened? Oh, a huge volume spike.
Yeah, right up there at 257. What? I wasn't there? Oh, Sean. Yeah, so AMD, there's going to be news soon on AMD. I don't have anything in my ear as if this thing's not even working. So we'll wait to see if there's anything going on with Adara. But that was, and I don't know what it was, man. Maybe it was just a break right into there. But I was just sort of watching it and saw the P&L like do this.
Is it this? AMD powers U.S. sovereign AI factory.
We kind of know that, right? Must be.
Yeah, that's not new. Accelerating an open America AI stack. I'm just reading that hit at exactly 3 o'clock. This headline on Benzinga.
All right, so I think that's probably just another repost of that.
Repost. I hate when that happens.
257.50. All right, I'm just gonna sit there.
Repost of an old story, like.
Honestly, if it goes upside, I mean, look, I'm still waiting for 255s. I don't think we're getting those. I'm just going to cancel that right now. And then we'll just wait for that print to come through. If it tanks, fine. Our stop now, let's change our stop to that level. It was going to be at 254 breaking through VWAP if we got the 255, but it doesn't look like that's going to come in. So let's just use this as our stop right now. It does coincide with, obviously, this level right here. So we're going to go 255.25, put it in right now, 255.24. Look, man, we're long. This will be nothing. We only have less than 2% left of both of these positions, both NVIDIA and on AMD. So we can put both these stops in. Let's just get out of NVIDIA if it takes VWAP. I'm getting bored of this. 190.59, nothing's really happening there. I watch it and I can tell nothing's happening because the net's not doing anything until it does, and I don't have an offer out. So that was a disappointment there. Palantir, look, I wish you were doing something. Maybe it's Lumen time then, as Lumen and Palantir team up, and there goes Lumen making new, I was going to say all-time highs. Maybe it is.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Or
no, maybe
not. Right there, 10.
Never mind. Yeah, 10.
We'll see if 10 hits for Lumen, maybe. But there's not much going on, man, other than Bitcoin, maybe. Yeah, 115. Is it come back into VWAP? I feel like it is. Yes.
But it's losing VWAP. So Bitcoin was actually good, but not coming into VWAP like this. When it's falling heavy into VWAP, that was actually my only losing trade on Bitcoin. It's when it lost the volume weighted price and then got it back. Like on the way back through, it was a good long. So I'm not sitting here at VWAP on Bitcoin or IBIT. I should just say IBIT on IBIT, but I want to try to look for it on the way back through, like last time. Like if you find a level that you like, sometimes it's like how it goes through that level. It might be the second time through or the retaking of the level that you like a little bit better. Like trying to think of a good example. Like to look at Tesla. I mean, Tesla the first time 450 wasn't any good. You take it again today and it's fantastic. Sometimes it just needs to rinse something first and then try to grab it. But I'm looking over at that IBIT to see if it can hold on to the volume weighted average price. I just saw someone type in SoFi, not really moving. But remember, they report tomorrow morning. That's what I was looking for the implied move, but I guess I'll just check.
SoFi, yeah, we can probably.
No, I mean, I probably don't have to look. I can just. Do you have it up already?
No.
Oh, you know what? Because it's tomorrow morning. I'll go. There's a site that we can usually check at Options AI.
Yeah, Adara can find it. Adara, SoFi implied move. People want to see Adara more than
I feel like I want to guess 8.
She's going to look it up. So right here, these are the ones that are reporting. She's doing the infographic right now. So tonight we actually have, and again, thanks to Dara for all of this as well. But all right, so this is what we have going tonight. Neil had mentioned there, it looks like the biggest one, well, Waste Management, new core is a big one as well. Avis budget, car used to go crazy. Is that Whirlpool? Yeah. NXPI, okay, so there's semis as well. Celestica was the one you mentioned.
That's the biggest one, I thought.
Yeah, so there it is right there. Well, yeah, expected move. Look, 11 for Celestica, 12 right now. Hold on, before I go over to Adara, is that Whirlpool? Whirlpool's been in problems. That is Whirlpool. Whirlpool's been sucking lately. WHR, so that implied move 12. Avis. Again, and then right now, and then Nucor, the world's largest, I don't know if that's true, largest steel producer in the United States, Nucor, coming tomorrow as well. So if you like steel, watch out for Nucor.
Oh, I mean, but U.S. Steel is not even a U.S. company anymore.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, I'm pretty sure Nucor is still.
I think it always was, even more than U.S. Steel. I
think so. U.S. Steel's always been smaller.
Yep. Okay, Adara, SoFi implied move?
So I always like to provide the caveat with these implied moves that they're a lot more accurate the closer you are to the earnings. Now, these earnings are going to be in more than 12 hours, so it's not going to be perfect, but I am seeing right now 12.1%. Now, if you look at the screen here, this is available on ASST TV Research. This gives you the implied move for all of these earnings that are going to be happening after the bell. Now, I will be making one very shortly. The rough version is already ready here for the earnings tomorrow before the bell. That'll be out very soon. Again, not going to be perfect because there is a bit of ebb and flow here, a bit of fluctuation with these implied moves, but either way, you'll get a rough estimate here very soon. I'll let you guys know when I've posted that on ASST TV Research, but this post is already live. Back to you.
To it. We're so old men. I was like, my arm's hurting. I don't know. I must have heard it during swimming. Neil's got a kink in his shoulder there. But massage guns are a good idea. We have one of those.
Oh, it's great. But usually I'm using the massage gun for like, you know, like the quad, like that kind of stuff. I'm not usually doing it on the shoulder blade. And it's impossible to get to that spot in the shoulder blade. That's what you got to use the tennis ball for, or that lacrosse ball. I have one of those somewhere.
Or your kid.
I'll have to dig out. Oh, Aaron's
Or your wife. That's what I use, the kid or the wife. Yo, there's this gun. Get that back going, my guy.
Aaron would probably have way too much fun messing around with it.
Perfect, man. That's the best thing.
Way too much fun.
She wants to take care of her dad.
No, tonight it's like for preparation for game day. And then we have basketball tonight, so we're probably not going to have time for it.
Yeah, but how late does she stay up?
Well, my parents started this, and so now she stays up for the whole game.
Oh, okay.
Because like once Grampy let her stay up to watch the whole Jays game, and she's a huge Jays fan. Obviously, we've been going to games since she was a baby. So she will be up till 11 o'clock watching the game and then struggling tomorrow and then trying to pull it off again and again.
Hopefully it's a pitcher's duo again and it'll be 2 hours instead of 3. But,
this is their one starter that has bad command.
I know, and ours is Mad Max, so.
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know. Put up on the board then. That's the best thing to do, Andre. If there's ever a super chat, just put it up there. Neil and I will notice, and then we can get it a little bit quicker. Oh, okay, for me. Hey, Sean, love the way you trade. Well, thank you. And the takes you have, thank you. Any thoughts on Netflix here? Nope. It does look pretty on the daily, but weekly looks okay. Yeah, so I'm just playing around. Yeah, look, I do like Netflix, but before, I'm going to do Netflix in a minute. I just want to go over another trade idea that I quickly have. I am going to go long. I am bidding right here. I'm bidding at the 200 period moving average. I'm actually bidding 75 here on TQs. I think we got to watch out for that play to come in, and then if it does break below 50s, I was going to get out. So I do want to give this about 25 cents worth of room if the futures continue to come down in. I want to go long with the trend. We talked about that earlier today. I'd rather do that. I mean, normally I would have shorted at this top, but I think I've learned. We didn't make a good trade last week trying to get short a little bit, but yeah, so far so good right there. All right, Netflix, NFLX. Thanks, Chris, again for that super chat. It means a lot. I mean, honestly, I know that Super Chat's not going to go build that wall behind us, but everything that you guys have contributed goes right back into the show, like every dollar. Sometimes we'll go in and buy, you know, we'll have a lunch around here or do something fun, some Starbucks or whatever. Second cup these days. Elbows up. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Justin Trudeau. Man, former prime minister living his best lives after being, and that's part of the best thing about being so young and being a prime minister, right? I mean, this guy now, like Joe Biden, unfortunately, I'm not talking about his health, but it's just like when Trump retires, he's going to be 85 or whatever when he's done being president. How old is he now? 82? Add 3 more years, whatever it is. Trudeau's still living his best life right now with Katy Perry. All right, so Netflix breaks down below. We will talk about that in 5 seconds, but first, it's Adara again.
AMD, it looks like, has confirmed those reports earlier from Reuters suggesting that it was in a $1 billion partnership with the DOE to build some supercomputers. Now, it's interesting. The official AMD press release really downplays, A, the role of the Department of Energy, and B, that $1 billion investment. In fact, I read through the first little bit. The main part they mentioned is just that, oh, with the support of the Department of Energy. So that, I think, is pretty interesting given the wording of the report. So AMD looks like downplay these governmental ties. Either way, I do have some more details about the deal, which is what I wanted to mention here. So they said this Lux AI supercomputer will be deployed in early 2026, powered by AMD, hosted at Oak Ridge National Labs, and when fully deployed, then at this point, Lux and Discovery Systems will represent a combined $1 billion of investment of private and public funding. So at that point, that's where the DOE loan or investment comes in. If I get more details on that, I'll let you know. But either way, I wanted to let you guys know. Pretty interesting here to see the actual press release for this AMD DOE deal versus the reports. Back to you.
We're still waiting for 257.50. I mean, we do have that short, and we like it. So we like this stock here on AMD. I mean, we've been running it for a minute here today. It's a lot of trades for me on that one. So yeah, as we give a big shout out to former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Okay, so yeah, Netflix on the way down right now. Look, I actually, so because it's broken below the 200 period, Chris, I don't love the stock because I feel like it is catching that falling knife right now, and you don't know how low it's going to go, especially now that we have to wait for a couple minutes here to see what the most recent reports are of the other sort of, this is part of the initial FANG, but we'll have to wait to see if everybody else in the good feels in this market returns right now. They did lose subscribers, and we are worried about that Brazilian tax hit there. I'm not sure there's that much about that, but at the end of the day, it hasn't really recovered. I mean, Netflix earnings, we like to look at it on day 3, so I don't know when Netflix reported, but I think we're past more than 3 days right now on that. But you are coming into a level right now that seems to be pretty decent area to nibble in if you're looking for it. For me, I'll give you the plan of action if you're trying to go long on Netflix. I'd rather go long once we break above here, and I know that's giving up $50, but why not go long at 11.50 once we're back up here and then use 11.20 as you're out, only risking $30 worth of capital, because then you have the 50 period moving average could be your out. You know, we can see that it really hasn't messed with the 50 period in a very long time. And we actually showed you this before, that it goes all the way back, I believe, is it even into 2023? Yeah, so right back into there. So we haven't really danced with the devil in this stock for 2 years, as the last time we came back in, and we weren't underneath it for long. So you can either take the break back above. There's 2 ways of doing it. One is wait for 11.50 to get back in, and then you take that and you go. Or you just take the break right there of basically 11.15 and then use our current bottom wick as the low. Either way, you're about $30 worth of risk. So Chris, thank you for the super chat, and we do appreciate that. I'm still into NVIDIA. I'm still into Palantir, but NVIDIA did come out. So we dropped out. I'm still in an AMD, but NVIDIA did come out as that dropped through. So we do take our out right there, and now we will wait to see where we go upside on NVDA, but 191.50 isn't horrible. That's kind of what I'm waiting for, the new highs for advanced micro devices. But yeah, that's it. So I'm just on AMD. Looking to do a little bit more. We talked about the futures trade that I'm looking at right now. So if that falls in, we'll take that. Bidding right now, 115.76 on TQQs, and then maybe, I don't want to get on to what you're doing, but Amazon maybe as well.
I'm just catching him in the chat. I went to go get a water, go to the bathroom. I missed the all this Katy Perry stuff.
Yeah, he's dating her.
How did that come up? Like, why?
Oh, just because I'm just a random dude. I just said congratulations to our former prime minister on Katy Perry. I think it's great for him.
Get back on that horse, man.
I don't know.
He's single.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so Sophie, his wife, yeah. And then someone said, well, Trump pulls hotter than that. And I said, well, Trump pays maybe for hotter than that. But I'm not sure. I don't know if that was actually settled or not on that. And plus, what was her name again? Dynasty or something? The one that Trump paid for. The blonde. Stormy Daniels, Dynasty. What's the difference?
I'm not even going to. Well,
Stormy Daniels.
There's inappropriate comments that could be made about,
Stormy.
Yeah. We'll leave that one alone.
They were really good friends, her and Donald Trump, as far as I know.
Nah, who knows? But yeah, I'm not even going to.
You don't need to do anything. Yeah, I've already done it.
I'm not even going to. But honestly, like someone just asked about ASST. Unabated, I think it was $2 was the level. You go up, it's more like 190. So like 190 would be that next stop that I can see. I hopped out of it already. And don't wonder, you can't just go up. It doesn't usually go up like this forever. On a 15-minute, this is about as strong as it's been at any point today. So I think the 190 level would make some sense for a profit take. I have a trend line that's setting up. We don't have free locates on this, which is weird, because at $1, it'll probably be like 1/8 of 1 cent per share. But if this breaks trend at that 190 level, I'd probably take some kind of a trend trade or a trend break of trade at least. I mean, I like that setup. At this time of day, if there's not going to be another dip buy, then there's very unlikely to be much of anything else here on this stock. I'm not going to chase it up here. Not a huge fan of that with only about 45 minutes to go. And really 30 minutes till the imbalances. I don't know that I'd want to be in it for sure. Or Alpha says, how dare you? This stock has done 866 million shares of volume. Like nothing any of us do is going to affect whatever is going to actually happen on the stock. It doesn't matter if I go long or short or anybody here goes long or short. It's not affecting it. 867 million in volume. That's just absolutely insane. But like you pull up a level 2 on this and look at the bid ask on the stock. Like it's got liquidity out the wazoo. So I'm looking at that 190. I'm going to throw it up on a side chart there and just be locked and loaded and ready for it. The other name, ooh, yeah, with all that market could be turning talk, I reminded myself Intel's close to VWAP. So I shorted Intel this morning to like mixed success and then shorted off of VWAP for about a percentage point, and then looking for it to get to the volume weighted average price. If it can't get there, this is the stock that I want to be short. It essentially went right into Friday's resistance at $40.50 and then flushed and has been trending down ever since. Do I think it can get to the lows from Friday? No. But this was one where like it was rallying more than any other chip name in the morning without a particular story, which made absolutely no sense to me and might be rolling over here. I might nibble at the lower high because I failed to do it here, and that ended up being a mistake. It's like, that's the pop. I got out of the short, which was right, but then I was waiting for VWAP. It couldn't get to the volume-weighted average price, and I could have just shorted it when it made that curl. Well, it's making that curl now. If the next bar opens up weak on the 3-minute here, then I'd probably jump into Intel. So CODX has died, so I'm going to throw up Intel onto that. So I'm now looking at Intel, ASST. Obviously, it's all the same names on this visualizer, everybody. ASST is all anyone cares about, which we've gone over multiple times. Tesla was trying to head back high. What the heck, Tesla? Okay, what the heck just happened to Tesla? I literally looked up and saw this candle on Tesla. Tesla just dropped $5 out of nowhere. So yeah, that's happening. I didn't hear a story in my ear. It could just be maybe a technical break. Like that's heavy on, is anything else falling like this? A bit of a heavy candle there on Palantir. You know what, if I thought it was even worth it.
No news, but a weird surge of social media interest. But again, I'm not seeing any news.
Yeah, that's just, yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily chase it or anything. I did get that Intel fill, but yeah, Palantir, not much of a drop, but a 50, 60 cent drop there. You can see off a consolidation on Palantir. And then now Tesla with this drop into 450. I see something like that. I mean, I see something like that, and I tend to think if there isn't a story, you should be buying 450, but that's a big volume spike. That's the biggest volume spike since the actual opening range. That usually looks pretty legit. Could be technical profit taking, filling in that gap. Let's see how this next candle opens up. I mean, I'm not going to jump into it. I was already planning on going short Intel, so I did make that jump into that stock. I'm not going to fly over and just try to buy the dip because it happens to be 450 over there on Tesla. So whatever is going on, let's see if there's any contagion. I didn't see anything else that dropped as heavily as that, with the small exception of Palantir. And even then, Palantir barely dropped. Like 50 pennies on Palantir, was going sideways anyways, but yeah, a bit of a sell came into Tesla. So as strong as it was,
oh, did it?
Yeah, it just kind of lost the bid at 54.
You had that short, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we all have a lot of trades, I guess, at the end of the day, right?
The weird thing about
That's a tough one.
The funny thing about it is if I hadn't traded it this morning, I'd probably hold on to that. It was the way that it acted the first time it broke a trend like this that had me like not a huge fan. Like it went right away and then still didn't follow through. And then this one got bought up right away and then did follow through. So it's kind of weird where the one that starts going wasn't as strong, and the one that didn't go right away ends up being better. Like I said, I jumped into Intel, shy of VWAP, but the market seems to be rolling over. And I think something you have to learn from a mistake. Like I didn't short it here, but we're shorting it there. Play into the low of the day over on Intel. Intel's the kind of stock where if you see it going crazy in the morning and there isn't a news story, you just have to be a little more patient than I was.
Yeah.
That's all. Because when this broke trend, like I would rather take a trend break like this in Intel than Tesla 10 times out of 10. Because I feel like when Intel makes a trend break and it's going up for no reason, you have a better chance of winning. Because Intel doing a stupid move and then doing a second stupid move is not very high probability, whereas Tesla doing a stupid move and then doing a second stupid move is very possible. It's Tesla. It does it all the time.
Jameson, stop putting my secret stock in the chat. Yes, you got it. We talked about this last week. I'm happy. I'm trying to build a position here in Samsara. I really like this stock. We bought a little bit last week. Again, I like this name here. Internet of Things, into communication. I think this name can run. You know, earnings, they're still not a profitable company. Or maybe they are, actually. Maybe they just turned profit. We keep on talking about all these different companies, but I've done the research here on IoT, so I'm just gonna have to double check with my notes. But I really do like this stock. Breaking through the 50-period moving average right there, and now upside on IoT. So this is just another one of those names that I really do think the future is bright for IoT and Samsara right now. So watch out for that. I mean, it's had really dramatic moves. Raider Trader at one point on our show did talk about this name as well. So it's not nothing to do with that, just looking at it now. That was probably a year ago or so, but right now it's been really hit and beat up a little bit, but I like IoT reporting, I think, in a couple weeks. So watch out for Samsara. We also do have a dip buy opportunity in the futures, so I'm looking for TQQ. If that gets into 70s, which it's not quite there yet, maybe it doesn't do anything. And then I just adjusted my AMD out. My AMD out is break of VWAP, break of the 200 period. I'm not going to give it all the way down here. It's not doing anything all afternoon, as if there is no news whatsoever. So we're going to wait for AMD, and I have to reset my earpiece. But Adara's got something else for us. What's up, Adara?
Sean, I kind of have an AMD adjacent story for you. Now, as I mentioned earlier today, we had the report that there was going to be that $1 billion deal here with the Department of Energy for AMD to construct some supercomputers. HPE was mentioned partially or possibly anyway as a beneficiary of that deal. Well, now AMD has finally just confirmed on social media that HPE is part of one of the supercomputers anyway, this Discovery supercomputer. So again, AMD confirming speculation that HPE is one of their AI partners here for this supercomputer deal. HPE, again, looks like more of a case here of buy the rumor, but either way, Hewlett-Packard certainly on watch here. Back to you.
AMD adjacent.
Okay, so Hewlett-Packard on watch as well. Okay, so I just refreshed my headset. I went in, dropped off my coffee cup there, found a couple people in the back in the kitchen there, and I brought them forward to show them because we're very proud of everything that's being done around here these days, especially. So
it's so cool.
Yeah, the big screen behind us really getting built up there. So we're really,
and also the desk that's there is going to have like the whole front panel is the same.
The desk might be even more impressive by the time you're sitting in it, but yeah, really happy. So shout out to the team that's been building that for us. So thank you guys. Yeah, so that was that. Futures going to the downside, and then IoT, yeah, Samsara, I really do like that one there. I do not. People are asking if SoFi beat or not. Like
Phone warning.
I know if they're going to.
If they're going to be.
You know, I mean, even if I had information, it doesn't. The beat doesn't matter. It's the guide that matters, right? So what we're looking for is, does SoFi continue to see strength in their loan program and their loan generation, as they do have their bank charter? So, you know, hopefully they're able to, you know, generate business in that form as well. How have, you know, how, to me, it's all about the loans, but how are the loans going? What do their recent signups look like as well? You know, their assets on hand as far as investments concerned. I don't know. People are saying that they're not big into crypto. We don't have SoFi here, so I have to do some research on it as far as crypto is concerned. But yeah, what's the next sort of discussion point for SoFi? And do I think they're going to beat? I just, whenever I look at a stock, I always say, forget about beat or not. It's just, like, SoFi would actually be a little bit safer if it was down here. Like, it's just gone. This is October 20th. So you're 4 days, right? In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now 6 days from $25. So $25 up to $30, that's 10% right there in 6 days it's moved. Its implied move is 12, Adara gave us. So like it could just come right back into this level on a miss, in which case I'll be buying it up as well. Or it beats and then it rockets. So I think if you like the stock and you like the name and you like what SoFi has been standing for and doing, then I think you just buy it regardless right now, and you buy 25% of a position, you load up 100% if it comes down, and if it goes up 12%, then you got a nice little windfall on a piece of your pie there for SoFi. It's ridiculous. I don't mind giving that call on stocks, but for me, especially the bank stocks, like, I don't know, man. Like JP Morgan had a big quarter and then it fell that day. You know, it's always back and forth.
SoFi has a history of, even if they beat, dropping 10 points anyways. And then also too, like just filling in the gap if it breaks 10 points to the upside. Like that's what, even though it was bullish last time, it still gave the entirety of the move. Now it got bought right back up on second day. But SoFi, the actual trade usually ends up being fading it in the morning. Fading it from the highs of the morning tends to be the play.
I feel like most bank stocks, they go down on earnings and then they find a base and people are like, wait a second, banks are kind of like
free money
saved now, especially with their loan, with they have those restrictions on them in the United States. And Wells Fargo got it lifted and it was up 7%. Speaking of that, you just told me a trick about the pills.
Oh, I was telling you,
I'm gonna have to have some.
I had a headache, but I was telling Sean the trick of, maybe some people know this, my wife recently told me this, that if you're taking, it's so much easier to swallow a pill, not that I have issues with it, tilt your head down and swallow instead of tilting your head back. Right. And it's weird, but like it worked incredibly, it's just super easy.
I mean, I never had a problem. That worked there. But I never
it's just like and again, it's for people who have issues.
Why are people asking me if I'm loading up on Circle? Did you ever talk about Circle as a long-term position?
I've never been.
I think I'm being framed.
I've never been in Circle.
Roger Rabbit.
Why?
Rascally Rabbit.
I don't know that anybody.
Even here, Carter.
I don't know anybody
Carter?
that's been interested in Circle on the show. I don't think Obi's mentioned this. I've never heard Treat from Joe talk about this stock.
There it is.
CoreWeave has been mentioned before.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay. So you're not actually asking me, have I? Because I haven't necessarily said we've done that. I know you had I mean, we can both talk about it. It doesn't really matter. So I like Circle because, and maybe this is why we were talking about it. Probably why. This, like 120 was great. I feel like this USDC coin and everything, that's all that I know about it. That Tether, USDC, it seems like that's going to be like the fiat of crypto, meaning that it's worth $1, it's worth $1 US USDC. So in transferring money from account to account, you know, like if SoFi or Robinhood accepts USDC, then you could transfer safely between your Coinbase or whatever account you have that also accepts it. So I like Circle down here. I don't know, I think their PE is still probably crazy, but we're not playing PE games with new IPOs, but you could have played this dip right there. That's September, so this is quite a ways from here, but not date-wise. Price-wise, you're not that far. 113, I mean 120. One little dip down in crypto, then yeah, I do think Circle is probably available to buy. I don't know. I'm not really buying too many of these names right now. Like I bought some Webull, we talked about that. Other than that, we bought some SoFi. In the crypto space, that's about all that I'm doing. And then I bought Bitcoin physical at 108, exactly 108. And we did that live on the air. Remember, it was bouncing around, so we're able to do that, and that has been pretty good. But right now, man, we are just diamond handsing a little bit, as this is the last time we got out, was right here when this happened, and now we're going to see if we can get it again. That is, of course, our play that we're looking for with AMD, but it looks like it's going the other way. Adair, is that the news you're talking about?
I want to talk here about NVIDIA, NVDA. Apparently, NVIDIA and Deutsche Telekom planning a €1 billion data center in Germany. Not sure if this is going to be huge news, but keep an eye here anyway. Either way, here on NVDA again, planning a €1 billion data center in Germany with Deutsche Telekom. Also, bit of housekeeping. I want to let you guys know, I heard some talk here about SoFi. SoFi and PayPal both reporting earnings tomorrow before the bell. And on XOTV Research, there will be some infographics for these names coming out. I'll have them pre-scheduled basically up until the earnings. I will also preview them on the market recap with Neil and myself, so definitely check those out. Again, SoFi and PayPal. There's also already a UNH infographic already out, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, PayPal, the other name that reports in the morning, and certainly one which is trying desperately to break away from this, both the 50 and the 200 period moving average. If this can take out the 200, I think it's got so much room to catch up to other things. As like show me something. Wow, like show me something even adjacent to crypto, which has been this week. Like Coinbase had a rough little bit, and now it's starting to come back. But PayPal's got a lot of catching up to do. And whoever's been selling this thing or holding it in the 65 to 70 range, I think any kind of a beat gives you a chance to release that bid. Tesla's still,
here we go,
CO. Tesla's still falling here.
Is it?
Yeah, it's now down to 48. So it held on to 450. No news. It was just sort of a technical, I guess. Should have stayed short that name, but didn't. Is what it is. I'm looking to see where the bid comes in. It would be crazy. Like, forget about 442. That was the level from this morning. I'd probably get rid of that line at some point. Maybe the 445, 46, but there's only 20 minutes to go. So it might even be like an imbalance reversal trade, which would be interesting. If 350 hits, there's always a chance for a reversion at that point. I want to quickly pull up the early look. ASST, that's from the morning. Ford gave back some. 1.5 million to buy, but Ford's volume is so big, you need to have much bigger than that. BBAI is up here, 700,000 to the sell side. That's not huge at all. Lumen, that's from the morning. Yeah, nothing crazy on the early look imbalances, but I'd be inclined to look for, usually I'll say NVIDIA. If there's nothing big, I'm looking at NVIDIA. I think I'm going to look at Tesla because of this move. Like, if this can have any kind of a buy and balance, I think just maybe taking a bit of a, not dead cat bounce, but like a relief rally bounce here going into 350 might make sense. Like, the stock just dropped $8 for no apparent reason. If there's a small buy and balance, it could be like a quick little punch long. We'll see. That ASST did not get back to VWAP, so I don't know if there's going to be another, might not be another entry on the stock. This one could be done for me till tomorrow, unless something really crazy happens in the next couple of minutes.
All right, guys, we talked about this, man. We were going to diamond hands this, and there it is right now. We're at 257.50. We're now $3, 250. There it is. Let's go. For you, Ozan. On the midday show, man, we talked about this. Breaking longer. Bye-bye. AMD just continues, man. Wow. Tearing off faces right now to the upside as we just continue to get high times right now in not these kind of high times, of course, although right now we're flying high with the stock, but it is a nice take now upside for advanced micro devices. And we put that offer there. You know, when we got filled here and we saw this happen, and I was like, we didn't put our offer out there. Well, we just did right now. We had that offer sitting there for an hour. So good. Hopefully you guys rolled with that and you believe that there was a chance to get that, because we did. And there it goes. It's a nice take. It's a nice upside play there for our good friend Advanced Micro Devices. We were just long right there, 255. So that's $2 and 55 cents. Okay, Seif. S-E-I-F, safe. Kafagi in the chat wants to know about Open Door. Look, generally we'll get to everybody, man, especially if there's super chats. We really want to, respect all of those as well, obviously. But I haven't seen Open Door in a minute on the chat, and now it's going ham. Right now, Open Door starting to go upside right now, big time in this market. Whoops. There goes Open Door, boom, up now another 6%. And again, we talked about this last week. Like, last week is last week, but if you're joining us every day, then you know that we talk about this, and that's $7. So again, Open Door coming right into $7, looked pretty sweet to us, and there it is, nice move there. Open Door, boom, goes the dynamite to the upside there for OPEN. Congrats to all that had that play. That's a great one. So shout out to Seif in the chat. You've got it. Is the brigade going as well? We have the Open Army, the BBI brigade, right now passing the battalion over to Open, because it's just taking a little bit of a breather right now, BBAI. I don't know. Beyond Meat was getting hit this morning, wasn't it? Yeah, so still down below $2. They did not find that beef at all. They still find Beyond Meat, which is not real. And that move upside there
losing everything.
Was so nice downside play there. This is basically the play for everything. I'm surprised Open Doors held it up this high.
Well, Open Door wasn't fighting potential bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Like, that's
why iRobot's interesting to me. We already made that call as well.
We've seen stocks that fight bankruptcy get a dead cat bounce before, but you know it's usually very short-lived. That's separated Beyond Meat from what we think can have some potential, like an Open Door. I think that bounce is a little bit more legitimate for some follow-through. And unfortunately, I'm trying to ask myself why wasn't this a short at $2 today? Like this is a pretty clean. Oh, it wasn't clean off too. It was more like 225. But tomorrow. Look, tomorrow under $2, maybe underneath 180, it even looks like it could be a flat bottom break. I'm going to favor shorts on this because there's one more leg for it to get back to $1 where this whole thing started on Beyond Meat, and oftentimes that's exactly what happens. You go all the way back to the beginning. Sucks, but we always tell people all the time, like you got to take profit on these types of plays. You know, maybe the risk structure works out. Possible.
Yeah.
But if you bet on those in the long run, you're going to lose more than you win because it's down there for a reason. And more often they go bankrupt, and it just doesn't work. And eventually they go bankrupt. Certainly possible, but you better really be confident. Let's go NEE, Florida's finest. Thank you, Adam Jones, for the super chat. I like that. We don't even need to. I don't even have to look up anymore. Next era. Oh, Monday chart. This one was wild at one point, but yeah, I guess it's doing a little bit of a rally here. The only thing I'm concerned with here is wick top at the prior day high. Not the prior day high, but the prior high on the daily. Like wick top at that 87, and then it's putting in still potentially like a lower high. So yeah, very bullish today, but on the higher time frame, it looks like it potentially made a little bit of a temporary top here. NEE, unless it can get back and start breaking out again. I think you had to have this one this morning, Adara.
I did mention it earlier, NextEra had news as well. Google and NextEra are reportedly working together for a nuclear-related project in the U.S., as reported by Fox News or Fox Business. But either way, NextEra is also on watch because they report earnings tomorrow before the bell, and they are on this list here of implied earnings moves for tomorrow morning, October 28th, before the bell. You can check this out on X at TTV Research. Either way, though, I did want to mention that news on NextEra in case anyone missed it. Google reportedly in talks with the company here with regards to a nuclear deal, and they're actually not the only company reporting tomorrow morning that Google is reported, or I guess actually in this case announced a deal with. PayPal and Google announcing an agentic partnership today as well. Back to you.
Go PayPal. Can you build that back up?
Love some PayPal.
Yeah, so Wayfair.
Oh, that's tomorrow morning?
Yeah, how did we miss that?
Wayfair, well, does it got what you need? That's the question.
Well, it always has what you need. Wayfair has got that short flow, which is what you need to get going. Like, let me double check because I haven't looked at it since last quarter. Still 26.5%. So yeah, still a 26.5% short float on Wayfair. It's up 5% for, I don't know why it's up 5% today. Probably just some shorts looking to cover before they get potentially blown out through $90. This is one. You only ever look at it 4 times a year probably, and that's when they report. And this 90 looks very, very spicy. You got to break out levels if it's going to be a squeeze play. And this does look like a spicy one tomorrow. I'm not here to, I'll never invest in, I'll probably never invest in the stock. I never try to say never, but I really seriously doubt it. But I do see an opportunity for a breakout on Wayfair tomorrow. It just has to hold above 90. If you're doing that, even on like a marginal beat, the fundamentals aren't going to matter to me. It's that short float that has me interested. So Tesla's bouncing a bit, still nothing.
Why, is there news on Tesla or something?
There wasn't really.
Because like,
But it is flying around.
And the volume really picked up a little bit there. Like, and once it dropped below right here, I feel like there might be a something. I don't know. Okay, so she's not saying anything, which is fine. I'm going to take a 452 break. That's why I'm asking. Holy jeez, mother of. Look what's happening right now to AMD. It just exploded.
Sorry, I just want to chime back in again with Tesla. Like, there is a ridiculous amount of social media attention on this name. I'm talking like
just Twitter.
Multiple tweets per 10 seconds. Sometimes we'll talk about multiple posts a minute. I'm talking about multiple posts per 10-second period. So this is not social media attention here on X for TSLA. Still not seeing any news though.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on, but thanks, Adair. If you obviously see anything confirmatory as far as the story, fine. But this AMD just went ham up to 259, man. That was a huge, this has been a great trade. We'll be on this one tomorrow. Faux show. All right, I'm going to Tesla. I'm going long. Forget about you, Palantir. We already hit you today. We did pretty good. TSLA is the name of the stock, right? Okay. It's going to the downside. I could do a Joe move and trade TSLL. I'm going to stick with TSLA. If it does break above 452, I'm taking it. So that I'm going long, giving it like maybe $1. I just, because I don't know. Like if I really did know the story and I was like super confident on that it was a good story, then maybe I could, you know, dance with that. But for right now, I'm going to hold off on those thoughts and just go 452 long if we can get it. The other one there, I just said Joe because he likes TSLL.
So I think it's this.
Oh, is there something? Okay, I found something.
But I saw this on Benzinga too, but I don't know if it's that big of a deal. New York State Comptroller Thomas Dinapoli, whatever, urges Tesla shareholders to vote against proposal for 2025 CEO Performance Award per an SEC filing. So,
right, because that's what we need. We need like senators that now are giving their opinion on this stuff. Honestly, I don't understand any of this stuff. But I mean, if it's Nancy Pelosi saying that, then you know.
It's not.
But it's
I don't
not,
know.
so.
I don't even know who that is, but that.
Well, here we go. We're about to get
a few minutes ago, so I guess that's the story.
All right, so we're gonna. Okay, so we'll take it. It doesn't. For me, as long as it's not like, you know, something with FSD or something that, you know, I need to be.
Which it's not. Yeah.
Which it's not. Then I don't need to be concerned with it. And IMO, in my opinion. So I'm going to go long on that break right now of 452. That's it, man. I mean, it's going to run into a little bit of problems. I understand that. And if we come back in and break through 451, I think this is worth $1. So we won't, I haven't traded it today. No marks on my account yet for Tesla. But if that's what it is, man, then I'm going to go long on that kind of a story. I don't, people can vote with their money, basically. I don't, for Elon to get paid, the price has to moon, right? So if it does, then good for him, and it has to moon for reasons, not just because of his pay package. So we'll see if it continues to work out. That was a great dip buy at 447, apparently. So I'm going to take that long and only give it worth $1. If I'm wrong on it, I'm wrong, and we'll take that. But for right now, that's what I'm working with here. The TQs basically came right into our level, and we didn't buy it because it wasn't exactly there, and we were. I was at 75. That wick got us to 89. So it's not. I'm not going to be woe is me on this one. It missed me. So we didn't. We weren't aggressive enough. But we were right. At least the idea of dip buying the futures was right. So that's all I can do, man. I'm just building every day, one idea on top of another, and hoping that they all wind up working out, and that it just becomes a smash city type of thing. Because that's all we're trying to do is get better to use more shares. All right, 258.50. Right there, great call to get out, I feel like, but I only put out because that was that top at 257.50, but now you're really expanding through, and the NVIDIA out's gonna look silly, I'd imagine. No, it's just AMD. Right now that seems to be on when we looked at Intel a little bit earlier as well. That's 39.50, but yeah, everyone's worried about what SoFi is gonna do tomorrow. Right now, it's trying to take out the tops with only 8 minutes until imbalances. I'd say leave it alone, but I do have to tell you, like, I do like SoFi, and I do like the name long. So opposed to what it's going to do tomorrow, I don't know. But I do like the story of SoFi. We've seen what Robinhood's done as well. Robinhood take a dip on earnings as well, but you're going to wait to see what Robinhood does after SoFi's move tomorrow. It's still up 5%. So all these names continue to be going quite nice. The fact that Nasdaq's up 1.6%, man, it's going to be a great day.
You know what I keep forgetting
in the Katina household?
I keep forgetting that AMD and IBM kind of move together now.
I mean, they should.
Well, there was that story last week,
Yeah.
right? The combination, IBM's going again, another fresh high. This would be, oh no, it did not.
I'm canceling my Tesla.
Okay, so it did not break these tops. But IBM's still going. Yeah. Those are probably bad wick highs, but IBM's still going along with advanced micro devices, looking pretty strong. Yeah, Tesla's not really breaking through. Someone made a good point that comptroller probably controls a bunch of retirement accounts and voting, so I guess would have some sway on the topic. Not exactly the kind of thing that I would have expected to be moving Tesla around like this, but it's happening. It's happening, so just respect it. There's a name, Los Pollos Hermanos, in the chat that we have not talked about once today. And you know it's a strong day in the market. Please still be up. There you go, Apple. Like I knew Apple was up, but I had no idea when I pulled it up how good it was going to look. Apple is boringly amazing lately. Like most days, it's not standing out for anybody, but that just masks what's been a fantastic, buy the dip, hold, run off that 50 period. And it made another leg today. Like most days, if there weren't like the China story having the chips be strong and that's where the play was going to be, and then Tesla, of course, going ham in here, you got to respect simple hold of last week's highs and stair step up. Like this is, to me, default. Like it's a long till it's not. That's a simple way to put it. It's taking the stairs higher. You made one step today without going parabolic, could go up 2 points. I like it, and I think this one ends up a buy tomorrow as well. Maybe
some Apple.
I'm not there yet on Amazon, but Amazon's closing above the 50-period moving average. If it just holds that support, I think that's also a nice little stair step up out of the Mag 7 names. 5 minutes to go till the imbalances come in here. Yeah, Tesla really gave up that VWAP. Come on, comptroller. They don't like it. They're still selling Tesla off as quickly as it was going up. Yep. Stock doesn't seem to want to catch too much of a bid here.
Oh, I just got a message from the Federal Reserve Bank. My debit card is ready. Click on that link, and they're going to send me probably an unlimited amount of money. So
well, I think
will be great.
That's an absolute no-brainer. You should always make sure that, and just to be sure, you should probably click the link twice.
Yeah. That's a good point. I don't want to miss it.
Yeah,
oh, it's a trap? Oh, okay.
Trap?
I might not do that. I was waiting to see if it was from my Nigerian friend as well. I wasn't sure if he got involved in this federal bank, because he's Nigerian, right? So I may have to take the money for him.
I mean, that's a much higher reputation, much more reputable than the Fed.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to hear from my Nigerian friend to get that figured out. Of course, Neil and I just joking. Please do not accept anything like that, because we don't. So that doesn't mean it's take the shot. I don't know. All right, so
it does need to be said though, because there
are some people that get scammed, yeah. And
exactly.
It's not meant to be fun.
If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah. All right. So Federal Reserve, yeah. Just wire it over to the show then, and I'll pick it up somehow there. All right. So I guess this story that was no story and now is a story and potentially is setting the stock down 2 or 3% right there. Like,
why?
Would have maybe thought about that a little bit more. We were waiting for that to break. It does not. And downside now. So from 52 waiting for the break to be lucky to get $4 or $5 really. It's now $3, let's call it, now it's almost $3 in the money off of its most recent level right there. So boo, we could have gone short on that one. Let's check out some other runners, whoopsies. SMR here, new scale, had its lows today put in. We'll find out. Oops, that's still Blue Ocean. SMR right there, I think it was 37.50 or so with the low today. It's still up $1.25, 37 and change right there, the low on that one. Some of the Rigettis of the world and quantum names like, see, come on, SMR, I've changed you. These ones not having a great afternoon, but still decent days. Again, as the Fed did come out and say that they are putting some money into AMD as they look to get into this whole digital revolution play there, AI and whatnot, with advanced micro devices. We saw Qualcomm also get to the upside. And then it was Rigetti's CEO last week that was like, we have a deal, but maybe we don't have a deal. Maybe the Feds are coming, maybe they're not. And Rigetti just hovering around, but still up 4%. That was a good multiple day hold as well. But you are not wrong, Fun Bubble Man. My biggest position, my biggest holding in my whole account is the S&P 500 and the SPYs, or the NASDAQ with the Qs. So I'll have to, I'm not sure, probably the Qs now with what's going on with them, but they're pretty much equal. I have been buying my own stock and managing my own sort of 401k since about 18 or 19. So I do have a lot of stock in there, but recently been selling some of that and buying some indexes because, man, indexes just
the jam.
Have been really safe.
I only have more SPY because I started buying the SPY first.
Right.
But lately I've been buying, like when I say lately, mold, so like lately means the last like 4 years. I've been buying more Qs than SPY. Like quite a bit. So the Qs are catching, but they haven't actually caught up just yet. There was a good question in the chat here from 2 New York Cent. Neil or Sean, please help. QPTS, since the fake news of the government dumping more dollars in the quantum, QPTS has done this, opened $2 to $3 higher than previous close, rips $2 higher and closes at the open price. So you mean like the fake out, we have 90 seconds till the imbalances. There weren't any big early looks. I'm not really expecting anything crazy on the imbalances. But, so yeah, look, understandably, if there's anybody that actually knows what's really going on investments in quantum or not, we don't have anything incredibly firm. And with these types of names that are only making, I don't know, like the ones that have revenue have a few $1 million in revenue, and not only, some of them don't have any revenue, right? So you know it's highly speculative. I try to just stick with the price action. And that's to me, that's the only thing you can do. You had a wipeout bottom on the stock, and then it reheld a support level. And that support, to me, is going to be like this close in here at like 31.8 or so. So I like the relief rally long if you're into it. I have QBTS and I'm not buying anymore. I think it's crazy. I've already rang the register, and I'm just holding for the dream at this point, so I'm not a buyer. But that technically it gets that prior support level, closed above, you give it to somewhere in that range, and then you just hope the story comes in your favor and that there maybe is some investment, because you can't play it on the news because we're not sure if the news is legit. So you can only play it technically, and if you weren't buying the 50 period, then it's a huge chase off the 50 period.
There goes Tesla. There.
That's the only, yeah, Tesla, upside?
What the?
In the imbalances?
No, not even the imbalance is not even out yet.
Oh, yeah, not even out yet.
Tesla just went 448 to 452.
That's so random. The stock is so random today.
Waiting for some more news on anything right now, but
5 seconds.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We do have these imbalances out now, and it's Ford with a buy, it's Pfizer with a buy, it's Nvidia with a buy. I dumped out of my AMD. I can only imagine what that's doing. Yeah, 259 right there. It's Apple with a buy. Some of you are mentioning program buyers potentially here in the afternoon. Google with a buy. Okay. Google's only 270. This is all the stuff I was saying about people that have these crazy Bitcoin predictions and everything like that. Like, okay, Bitcoin in April, like this was 150. You're almost doubled on Google, okay? So you almost doubled on Google since those April lows. Everybody's sitting here waiting when Moon. I had someone in the chat just goes, when Lambo, right? Bitcoin right now, its lows in April, 44. It's at 65. So obviously, even a stock like Google, there's many other names, man. And the reason why I'm not picking an ASST or anything like that, that moons daily, like Google is kind of like its own little index anyways, right? Google, Apple, all these plays. What I'm getting at is there's many other plays other than crypto, as we all know, that have really had some great push forwards lately, and that included is Google, and what a move up for them. Microsoft continues to, make that breakout work down there around 520 when they recently broke out right there to come upside. It's still in play though for the breakout for sure is Google, so there's that kind of a play there. But yeah, man, it looks like it's buy side all around. The only sell is Verizon, and that's a nothing burger for Verizon shares. It's not doing anything, 700,000 shares, so. Palantir up near and around all-time highs. SoFi is a buy. I didn't even notice that. Keurig Dr. Pepper off good earnings, sorry. They're a buy as well. They haven't done much today other than make quite a little move down early, but still hovering around. Palantir looks like it's the winner, not the winner, but it's going to go out near all-time highs, 190 today for PLTR.
Yeah, as I said, nothing too crazy on those imbalances. No. Stay tuned because aftermarket. Look, I know tomorrow morning, obviously, is going to be bigger, but lots to cover here. I punched out of Intel on those buy bounces. It had a 1 million. Of course, it then heads lower because it doesn't seem to care. But the market itself doing this jaunt up on, remember, like the overall imbalances weren't that big to the buy side, like 200 million for the total, 6 million to sell on the NASDAQ, the Mag 7, 22 million to sell. And the response to that is the market breaking out once again because we are closing at all-time highs like the James Bond song. We're at an all-time high. Mother market is absolutely undefeated. At this point, even Tesla got bought up on that dip, which was crazy. Kind of weird that Tesla was going down in the first place. I just saw in the chat, wow, Meta. We haven't even talked about Meta here today. Meta and Microsoft.
Yep.
Those two names, I don't know what it is, but just for some reason not as exciting anymore. But Meta's going to close back above its 50-period moving average. Yet another stock. Doesn't get to the 2. Well, that kind of sucks, but does a nice dip into the July lows, kind of around the same time that Amazon made its dip. And I think it's headed right back into the all-time high. I just sort of prefer, at the time, the Amazon earnings preferred that as a dip buy. Literally the same thing. It almost doesn't matter. Like you buy any of them off of those dips when it gives you a chance at a good support level, and you'll be absolutely fine. Market undefeated. Not much was weak today. You know what was weak today that we didn't talk much about? It was no, it was the rare earth thing.
Yeah.
So like I'm stink bidding MP materials. I have to double check. I could still be, I might still be waiting at like $55 or something, which might not make a lot of sense on MP. I'll have to double check because my intention is to like work my way into an MP material. I just have no intention of buying at the highs. And I bought some at the 50 period. And like, this was not for a swing trade. Like if I like buying here, obviously you should take it out at $100, but I didn't do that because I'm holding it. But I'm looking for another to buy just to get another 10% and build into a long over the next, I feel like 6 months to a year in MP. I'm going to double check. I might still be bidding at 55. Down day for all of those today. UCAR and MP, and then the entire swath. I think they could have some downside, but long term, this is still going to be a sector that works. So you just have to wait out the storm. To me, goodbye the dip for the long term, but could be a little bit turbulent for the next little bit.
I mean, we recently bought Apple at 212, man, 270 right now. AMD is ripping. We just got out at 250, 257.50. It's at 260 right now, and going higher right now is AMD. Tesla, it's too bad we don't have that trade on. We talked about it, but we didn't take it. Remember what our trade was going to be? 252s long, give it 50 cents. So there's $1.50, 3-to-1 on that trade if you're lucky enough to grab that as that continues to go higher. And look, man, this is what my day looks like. Longs, man. We went a little short on AMD, got out of that one, hit long on AMD. We hit long on Nvidia, man. 189. Hopefully you guys are doing some sort of damage on that one. 189 right there on AMD, on Nvidia. And then the other long that we had, we just went long all day, but it's Palantir. I wanted to bring this to your attention. This is my number, no, actually my number one stock is Palantir, sorry. Long again, but look, it's weak as opposed to everything else. Palantir, what up with that? Nice downside play there on PLTR, but yeah, nice move down. We're gonna go over to Adair quickly.
Well, actually, we're going to talk about trade the pool, because for too long, trading meant risking your own money or not having enough capital to start. That fear of losing kept a lot of traders on the sidelines, but that's changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With the limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside risk. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you get to keep 70% of the profit. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is a revolution of limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. So visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code in front of you to get 10% off your first evaluation. 355 hit. Most of the imbalances paired off that were there. Intel actually grew, believe it or not. Bigger imbalance, but that only 1.5 million shares. Intel's done 140 million. ETHA with a bid of 1.6 million. Don't usually see that. To be honest with you, I can't even think of the last time that I saw this have an imbalance, and it's not moving. So mental note, imbalance probably needs to be significantly larger than 1.6 million shares to move ETH. But as I said, it's the first time that I've even looked at that one.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, there's not much. Those imbalances, it's all just, yeah, no, that is the iRobot working in the background there, people asking.
It's a little
right there, as I guess Russ in the background there is sweeping or vacuuming up.
The entire second half of the studio, which you guys don't even see, where we used to have the desk, is still getting like gutted and then redone and painted, so they got to be cleaning up. There's a heck of a lot more than just what you see going on in front of us. Like, I haven't even looked at it.
Behind the camera.
Like, there's like a big plastic.
Oh, yeah, it's done. I mean, they're getting a new floor in there, and it's all,
look at that.
All the walls are.
Temporary resistance in our past, but our bullish outlook.
We're very bullish.
I like that. 2 minutes to go in here. Well, I should probably get on up to this. We should have Michael Noss coming through as well, so we'll be able to talk to him about this rally in the markets, maybe what he thinks about crypto not participating as much. I know it says percentage up 1%, but it's not like it went absolutely ham today. The Qs were a bigger story today, almost 2% to the upside. Still a chance, but I don't think we're going to get to that 2% mark. It's been a minute since we've had 2%. I'll see you all at the desk.
Yeah, we have Whirlpool. There's a bunch of different reports happening
earnings,
today.
but the big one's tomorrow morning. It's that SoFi.
Yeah, everyone's concerned about SoFi. SoFi so good, though, on that name, as we've said that joke about a million times. All right, just watching out for the names that we've been talking about. Here we only have 1 minute now until your U.S. market is closed for the day. And that means Nvidia doesn't trade anymore as it goes out at 191 and change. The biggest and the baddest EV name out there, Tesla, had a great day today. Still goes out at 4.5%. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. Right now you guys are watching, and this is how many we have subscribed. Let me just pull this down right here. You guys got to hit this like button. You see what I'm going to do? 500 likes. Get that going right now. How many of you are watching? We still have Neil here. I guess I got to go live on this. How many watching? How many watching? 6,000. Thank you so much for staying late with us right now. Hit the like button. Toronto Blue Jays, by the way, win tonight, 55-45. So thank you for that. 500 likes. Get that up to 1,000. We've got Neil Nadera coming on the recap show to talk about all the earnings and all of the plays there today. We'll get also some more information from Michael, as we just talked about, what he's up to. But there goes Tesla right now. 452. We'll see what that can hold. 450 tomorrow. It's really the Apple story, though, into the close. As here we go, only 10 seconds left. Now, this closing show brought to you by, and the bell, brought to you by Oragenics, of course. Get your concussion care with Oragenics and go find out what they have to offer. All right, man, that wraps up the day. It looks like the NASDAQ goes out, wow, up 1.8%. One of the best days in a long time that I can remember for the NASDAQ. Finishing the day up nearly 2%. Wow. ES up 1.2%. That, again, is another hot dog close for all of that. Bitcoin nicely cooking today at 115. Get your glizzies on Bitcoin as that starts to go as well. All right, enough of the annoying hot dog guy right there. I'm Sean. That was a fantastic closing show. Thank everybody for joining us again. We're having a lot of fun here. It's about to get even better. You're doing the cameras, though. Are we okay, Fabian or Andre? Get the thumbs up right now. All right, car is now out, so they're all starting to flow. Enough of me, more of them. I'll see you guys at 8:30. Ciao.
Thank you very much, Sean. Brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex is your market recap show. Starting off with Avis. Well, it was up, but coming right. Oh, now starting to bounce again. Wow, there you go. That was $10 up, $10 down, and $15 up here on Avis. So right away, we know you're in earnings season when you got these bamboozlers. I haven't seen it hit the wire, the numbers yet. Oh, Dara does have it, but Avis right now up 12% right off the bat here.
Yeah, revenue here, $3.52 billion, better than the estimate of $3.46 billion. Adjusted EBITDA, $559 million, beating estimates of $542.3 million. And net income here of $359 million. Also, FS Bancorp, this came out just right at the close. FSBW authorizing a $5 million share repurchase, probably not major, but something to let you guys know about. Nonetheless, let's take a look here at our implied moves and ETA calendar so we can see what's coming next. Should be getting Cadence around the same time, as I believe Neil mentioned there. Cadence, former home of Lip Bhutan, who is, of course, the current CEO of Intel, which is a fun fact if you guys don't know it. Cadence is not reported yet. We'll get WHR at 405, NXPI 410, Celestica at 415, and at 430 we get the double whammy of Waste Management and Nucor. Those will be coming up very soon.
Couple of biggies. I don't think Michael Burry's in that Waste Management anymore, but that was a long time. Yeah, Michael Burry was Waste Management at one point was like the biggest holding in Scion Capital for a while. At least I believe it was. That might have been a couple of years ago, but just jumping back into here to Avis for the price action here. On that beat, there's the breakaway. It's a breakout on the daily. Now keep in mind, 9% was the expected move. It went 15% last time. The prior high was right in around just underneath 170. Looks like Cadence is out. CAR needs to hold that 9% if it's going to be a strong one tomorrow, in my opinion. But Cadence is now out. Former Intel CEO's baby. How are they doing?
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing too well on the stock move, but the earnings themselves, Neil, nothing too crazy here to the downside. As far as I can tell, Q3 adjusted earnings, 193, beating estimates of 179. Sales, $1.389 billion, beating estimates of $1.323 billion. This is also a $350 ticker, so I should remember them tomorrow, hopefully. But either way here, CDNS despite a double beat, market not seeming to like this number. I'm going to parse through the report quickly. So revenue up year over year, operating margin improved on a year over year basis, non-GAAP operating margin improved on a year over year basis. I'm not seeing any metrics that are down year over year. Okay, one thing maybe I'll read here. Quarter end backlog, $7 billion. Revenue expected to be recognized in the next 12 months from remaining performance obligation, $3.5 billion. Still not bad. If I get anything else, I'll let you know. But sometimes, as we know, the earnings and the stock move are not always chilling together. BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, apparently reporting this might be, is this a pink sheet? I think it might be.
I think it's on the OTC.
Is it not? Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up here. It's apparently NYSE,
what?
And it's getting pushed to an upside. Revenue, $257 million. Losses here of 19 cents per share, but the company does expect year-over-year revenue trends to turn positive, but only in 2026. So,
yeah, I mean, look, I think the story for them, it's going to be, it's not even that big a short float anymore. 7% short. I don't know how much that excites me on Bed Bath & Beyond. You almost want it to be bigger than that, but it is making a nice bounce. Like 10, almost double digits. Oh, just got to double digits here on BBBY. Not much on the daily chart until it breaks like $12. So, yeah, this one came back in, and I don't know if it's going to have enough juice. But I like double digits is fine. Let's just see, maybe the $10 level tomorrow could be a little bit interesting. But just jumping back over to Cadence for a second.
I have more on Cadence. They lowered their guidance.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, maybe the guide, because it just spiked up. I was watching it. It spiked up to 350, like right back up to the highs. The bid was still down at 40 to 42. So it was just a bunch of people hitting the offer, but nobody was following the bid up. And now it's right back into 340. So it's not, the bounce here was not exuberant at all, maybe because the guidance was not very good.
Yeah, it's weird. I kind of dislike when companies do this where they lower one part of their EPS guidance, but they raise the other part. I'm like, live your life, I guess. But yeah, thank you very much as well to the super chat, $2 super chat. Awesome day today by the entire TTV Live team. We greatly appreciate it. Let's take a look here, though, at CDNS, lowering their fiscal 2025 GAAP EPS guide here to 380 to 386. That is well below estimates of 430, though, to be fair. That's terrible. Their other guide was also well below estimates, Neil, so But they raised their fiscal 2025 sales guide to 5.262 bill to 5.292 bill, narrowly above estimates of 5.248 bill. Again, I don't know. I don't think this is that good all around, but they did raise their adjusted EPS guide, and this is very nice. They raised it to range between $7.02 to $7.08, well above estimates of $6.84.
It doesn't sound good, but I suppose it's mixed. The other positive news, I suppose, on Cadence would be that the expected move was 7, and so even on that mixed guidance, it's only down 3%. So that's, I mean, that's, I guess, not that bad. That all sounds pretty, whatever. I don't own the stock, so it doesn't really matter. But that's something that I wouldn't have liked. I don't like that report. It doesn't sound on the surface very good for Cadence at all. But IBM, another fresh high. This was rallying already, IBM, since earnings, and of course with that AMD story, and now we have more news.
Yeah, so apparently they're launching a platform for financial institutions entering digital asset economy. So I'm not a lot of details. I do understand that, but either way, keep an eye on this name with that headline in mind. Whirlpool has apparently released its earnings. I am not seeing them populate yet, so I will look into this. Also, guys, as I always say, keep an eye on X at TTV Research. I have a very fun PayPal Mafia infographic coming out tonight ahead of PayPal's earnings tomorrow, so definitely feel free to check that out. I could not fit all of them on, but I did what I could. Yeah, I don't have anything else here in Cadence. I'm just seeing a summary of the report. Not seeing much here in Whirlpool. The report is out, but I'm going to have to parse through it. So I will do that if you don't mind, Neil.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, Whirlpool right now, and again, this is stock that has not performed very well recently, but it's trying to make a bit of a bottom. It just went 2% here, but immediately rejected the 78 level. So prior support, going back from the beginning of October, it just got rejected here to the upside on Whirlpool. It's coming right back in. So they must not like something about it. My guess is, and you're going to tell us in a second, that we probably beat top bottom, and it's the guidance that could be an issue. That's why the early spike potentially.
I have F5 too. I don't have Whirlpool top and bottom yet. I do apologize, but I do have F5 on watch here, which I will deliver for you guys. So I'm just trying to get the zoom up as well. F5 dropping pretty sharply here. We know there were those concerns about foreign actors potentially getting into their system. That was a whole thing. But revenue here, $810 million, beating estimates of $793.4 million. Adjusted EPS, $439, beating estimates of $397. Outlook here for Q1, $730 million to $780 million. Not seeing how that compares to estimates. Now, they did say that they're expecting fiscal 2026 revenue flat to 4%. So flat is never great on the bottom line. They did say that the demand impacts are going to be more pronounced in H1. So the first half of the year, we're going to see impacts of demand a little bit more intensely. They also noted that there will be a potential near-term margin impact from sales cycle disruptions.
Goodness.
Not any mention here of anything with regards to the hacking situation, but I do have the Whirlpool numbers, Neil.
How can they not comment on that? But
yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah, well, the F5, I mean, the good news for them, if there's even any when you're down 17%, is their PE was 25 going into this, their forward PE was 17, so it now down 16%. You could be looking at potential low double digits price to earnings. So that could be some kind of potential value bounce is the only silver lining I would look at for them. I would suspect they are going to talk about the outage on the call, and maybe that's some positivity there, might be able to get it off the shine, but it's actually starting to get a little bit cheap.
They don't do much volume either. That's
no,
the
it's
thing,
from a trading standpoint. Look, you're not trading this as a day trader. Trust me, you don't want to do it even right now. The spread sometimes here.
I might.
It's a very spread.
I'm joking, yeah.
No, but if you, I was going to say, like, the spread is huge on this stock. It's maybe more something you would trade. Cadence is very similar as well. Big
yeah,
time
that's why
spread.
I'm looking at that tomorrow.
But like this one, you need to hear some good positive comments on the call. Otherwise, this could be a little bit nasty. Down 15%, trying to bounce off 250 at least. For F5, this would be in the category of I'll at least have it up for potential SSR bounces tomorrow, just because it's a big enough name. But not looking good so far off these earnings names, with the bigger ones to come tomorrow morning.
Yes.
And then, of course, later on in the week, it gets really spicy.
Yeah, I'm like so excited here, guys, for all those earnings tomorrow morning. United Health, a good friend and favorite of mine. We have SoFi, we have PayPal. We have a lot of names with blue logos. And you can check, again, the implied earnings move infographic already out on X at DTV Research. SoFi and PayPal infographics for their revenue. Those are soon to come. I have them pre-scheduled. They'll be posted before the earnings. I want to take a moment to talk about Whirlpool. WHR beating Q3 estimates here, $2.09 versus estimates of $1.41. Sales, $4.033 billion, beating estimates of $3.925 billion. Now for Whirlpool as well here, apparently their fiscal 2025 outlook for sales is $15.8 billion, not seeing how that compares to estimates. Just at earning 7 per share, not sure how that compares to estimates, and they achieved $50 million in quarterly cost reductions. I want to talk about AMKR, which is admittedly not on my list, but someone in the chat, I believe by the name of Douglas, asked me to look at this earlier, and I, of course, would love to help out, especially because the numbers are right in front of me, so I love that. Revenue, beat estimates, Neil, for AMKR or Amcor Tech. That'd be $1.99 billion versus estimates of $1.932 billion. EPS also beating estimates, Neil. 51 cents per share versus 43 expected. Gross margin is down by 30 basis points year over year, so that's never lovely. They did appoint Kevin Engel, an individual, I'll have to look into him later, as CEO that'll be effective January 1st, 2026. Shout out to myself and Charlie Munger. Their revenue guide for Q4 is $1.775 billion to $1.875 billion. Midpoint of that more or less in line, but slightly below estimates of $1.834 billion. Gross margin does include a $30 million asset sale benefit. They're guiding that between 14 and 15% for Q4, so that's more or less in line with what they did this quarter. And yeah, I'll stop going over AMKR now. That's the main part, but I just did want to go over that for the individual in the chat who asked. How are you doing over there, Neil?
NXPI is also out.
Yep.
I mean, I have it. They beat the EPS is in line. Sales was a miss of estimates. It's kind of weird that it's trading up like not much, but like 1 point here. So EPS in line, 3.11 per share. Sales, $3.017 billion, missed the 3.16 estimate, so there must be something like a silver lining here. I'm not really even sure why you'd be up that 1%. Doesn't look too good for an XPI. Very, very, relative to some of the other names we're looking at, very light volume here in the aftermarket for an XPI. The stock has been doing pretty well, but yeah, not looking too good there on the actual top and bottom. A miss on the revenue estimates. Usually you've been getting punished for that. My guess is they're waiting for the actual guidance here to make some kind of a secondary move here. So pretty much flat on XPI, slightly up on a miss on the bottom line.
I have the guidance.
You have a guide?
Yeah, I actually have the guide. So let's go over the guide here.
Okay.
Just popped on Benzinga. I also have their revenue year over year and quarter over quarter. So their revenue, Neil, for NXPI down 2% year over year, but up 8% quarter over quarter. EPS down 10% year over year, but up 14% quarter over quarter. So both revenue and EPS down on an annual basis, up on a quarterly or the other thing they call it a sequential basis. Let's talk here about their guidance. They're guiding, the midpoint of their EPS guide here is going to miss estimates, Neil. Midpoint around $2.60. The estimate there was $2.68. Sorry, $2.60 versus $2.68. Sales here, the guide is, midpoint of the guide is going to beat estimates $3.2 billion to $3.4 billion versus estimates of $3.283 billion. And then we also have here NXPI guiding Q for adjusted EPS to $3.07, $3.49 versus $3.29 expected. And then, yeah, like I said, so I love when they give me GAAP EPS and adjusted EPS as two separate things.
Yep.
I'm like, you guys could have consolidated that, but it's all good. That's the deal there with NXPI. As you mentioned, earnings and EPS both pretty tepid.
Yeah, pretty tepid across the board, but you know what? There was absolutely nothing tepid. And we've gone through all the earnings, but there was absolutely nothing tepid about Tesla today. Tesla was an absolute rocket ship. And I understand, hey, we had some good reports here and there, and there wasn't gigantic headlines. There was some talk about Elon Musk's pay package, but ultimately, the stock has been a bit Jekyll and Hyde. So it's so easy to just come in tomorrow after this rocket, or after today, and come in tomorrow and be so bullish on the stock. I'm just reminding myself that, you know, we've had this rip, dip pattern on Tesla. So I'm going to be a little bit open-minded in that the bamboozlement has been coming in after an all-day rally, and then it's an all-day sell-off, and then you get a most of the day rally with the exception of the last maybe 20 minutes or so, or maybe 20 or 30 minutes or so on Tesla. And it could just have this same Jekyll and Hyde pattern. On the daily chart, it just looks like noise for Tesla. That's the craziest thing. It's great action for a day trader, but on the daily chart, it just looks like a nice consolidation off the top, which is not breaking out the highs, and it's not breaking through that 410 to 420 low. So we're just dancing around. I'm going to respect that. If it shows me a failed break off the top, I'm thinking shorts. If it shows me a dip into that, probably not the 420s, but into that range, then you go buying it. Just be patient with it, because this stock has been very Jekyll and Hyde is the best way to think about it. It's like it's a little bit bipolar in the last couple of days, but it was super strong today. That's exactly what happened on Thursday, and that ended up being a big-time trap on Friday, despite getting away with that long.
Yeah, CLS is out here, Neil. I'm going to have to read through this report. I don't have everything yet, so I'll give you guys what I have. Revenue, $3.19 billion, up 28% year over year. GAAP earnings from operations as a percentage of revenue, which is an odd metric. It's 10.2%, but that is up from 5.5% last year. So not bad here, and I'll actually give you guys the full EPS and revenue versus estimates. Again, up year over year for both metrics. EPS, $1.58 adjusted versus $1.47 expected. Sales, $3.194 billion versus $3.011 billion expected. So that's the look here for Celestica. I do want to mention, Neil, some non-earnings related catalysts that are getting a little bit of a move that I think I should address. KB Home. Odd one for me to mention, post-market I know, but I checked and there was volume, so I said, okay, cool, let's get it. KB Home actually announcing a share repurchase program here, and I need to find exactly how much it was. It's on my blotter. It is eluding me. Authorizing a $1 billion share repurchase program. So that's the deal with KBH. And then CHGG, Chegg Inc., also that's not really moving at all, but they announced a business update. And they're going to be having restructuring efforts here, which will impact 388 employees. SMCI, is there news on this? I will look into it. I'm not seeing any news on it yet, though. I
was just about to ask you. I know we're going to bring in Michael Noss, but SMCI up 10% now with a big move in the aftermarket. It just accelerated in the last couple of minutes here. It was going straight up all afternoon, but accelerated there in the last 4 minutes, literally, as it just grabbed double digits to the upside. So, like, the bounce is pretty impressive. I know it's always fun on a Monday. We get to talk to him in the morning. We get to have a little trader talk with you-know-who, our good friend. There he is, the NOS boss himself. Happy Monday. I know we saw you this morning, but we don't get a chance. Sean and I don't get a chance to talk to you in the morning, so welcome. Hope you had a good weekend and a good start to the week.
Yeah, well, what is there to complain about? New all-time highs seemingly every day. As a long-only swing trader and investor, it's been a good year. The year started out a little rough, but I've been really happy after that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Whoa, SMCI going another. Like, it's like SMCI is up 10% and moving after market. We don't even see a story on it. I guess sometimes it could just be this crazy bull market. But like right off the bat, before we jump into some like more in-depth topics or what you would like to talk about, and then my attempt to, and failure usually to stump you, what do you make of the fact that we keep hearing, like every single morning when I'm going to catch my train, I'll have like CNBC in my car because I listen to it, and every morning I hear them talk about bubble this and bubble that, and if you didn't look at any charts and you weren't involved in holding things long, you would think that this is going to be like some kind of dot-com bubble burst, yet all we do is continue to make highs. What are your thoughts with regards to that? Is it something you think about? Is it something that you have a plan of action for? You don't care?
I don't care. So the two things that come to mind right away is one is the famous George Soros quote of, when I see a bubble, I run right in. And then the other thing is that, bubbles are only problems without people without an exit plan. I think even the word bubble has a weird connotation where they think when it pops, it's like all at once. Like you're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna look at the market, and it's down 60, 70%, and right, all the money that you've made for the last couple of years is gone. Well, we don't have that, because even if it did hit a limit down scenario, which there need to be, some sort of catastrophic event happen, it will open up the next day, even after, 9/11. Not fun to invoke that, but we had a halt down day, but then within a period of time, the market was back open and people were back trading. So I think when people hear bubble, again, they think about the collapse that happened. So what I did, I remember I came on a couple weeks ago and I just showed you guys what all of the tops look like. And we can go and take a look at the SPY on like a weekly chart for what the most recent tops look like. And they're never just falling apart all of a sudden, right? This was even the tariff tantrum. And you had 2-3 weeks of it breaking support before you had a problem. And same with 2022, 2021, 2022. You had a couple weeks before it was a problem. So I don't worry about it because there's generally signs. And then the other thing is that if everybody thinks it's a bubble, it makes me less inclined to think it's a bubble, right? If everyone in the world, and I'm hearing this all over, that we're in a bubble, that makes me less inclined to worry about it being a bubble. It's always the thing that people aren't looking at that becomes the problem, not what everyone's looking at all the time.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Especially when you have so many like big money managers saying it too, like it takes on the tone of we're not long enough yet, and we think there's another leg higher, and we're trying not to miss it.
We're priming you for our year-end report in which we dramatically underperform the S&P 500.
Exactly. Oh, well, the other thing to keep in mind, I think, along those veins is, of course, you're looking at the SPY. Oftentimes, we'll talk about the Qs. There's a difference between like the bigger caps and the ETFs. And say, I'm just going to throw a name out. Let's just go with like Rigetti or IonQ or maybe like the nuclear names. Like those will, without the market doing anything, can have like 20% pullbacks and 30, 40% pullbacks within a matter of days. So understandably, on your individual plays that might be a little bit more volatile, it's much of a different story.
Well, and it's important to note, too, that, obviously all of the quantum computers make up 0% of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, right? So it's, this sounds harsh for anyone invested in it, but really every quantum computer stock could go to zero tomorrow and it wouldn't affect anything, right? Just like even if you look at something as big as energy is 3% of the S&P 500, the entire energy sector. So say, something happens and we find a whole bunch of oil somewhere and oil gets cut way down, that's still not going to have that big of an effect, right? So for us to see, and there's another school of thought that we'll never see a huge market crash again because the market is so fragmented in this way, where again, all quantum computer stocks could go to zero, and you could definitely have a bear market and a crash there. But because the market is so big and has so many kind of tendrils out there everywhere, that the market as a whole might not be affected, and we may have little mini bubbles that kind of expand and burst and expand and burst, but overall that wouldn't really affect us that much.
So I have a question for you, and this is you just made me think of this, as well as my attempt to sort of stump you here. When you say that, because we have a little bit more fragmentation, but then you also hear, the Mag 7 and how big of a percentage of the overall market that they are causes some trouble. I know you like to look at go back to past events to inform your future decisions. So here's my question to you. Let's just say there was a top coming up in the market. what sector, if any, or what stock or group of stocks, if any, would you see as, if this pulls back 10%, I'm not saying it's the top, but it would be a strong signal as the top. Is there anything along those lines? I guess it'd be easy to say the Mag 7, but you come across anything in your research that would give us a hint at least?
I think, and this is a controversial take for anyone that studies Dow theory, but I think semiconductors are the new transport index. So again, just quick explanation for those who didn't study Dow theory. The idea was that if you looked at the transportation average, that could give you some clue to what happened in the market. And the idea was that back when we shipped physical things, and that was the entire economy, that if the transportation companies started to suffer, then that kind of gives you a early sign of an economic slowdown in which you have, people aren't moving stuff around as much, so maybe that's good. And that worked for a long period of time and then stopped working. And I think kind of semiconductors replaced that, because we remember during 2022, 2023, everyone was saying, well, we don't have the chips to build new cars. We don't have the chips to build microwaves and fridges and all this kind of stuff. Everything has a chip in it. So that made me kind of think that maybe really the only sector and the main sector we should watch should be the semiconductors. So, you could pick SMH, there's a couple ETFs for these, but like we saw a massive new breakout and a new high today in SMH, and that was helped a lot with like the Qualcomm news and things like that. But if this starts to suffer and not just move sideways the way that we saw back in July to September, but really starts to kind of pull back, 10, 20%, if the market's still holding up at that time, I think for me that would be an early sign that, okay, without semis, then we can't have, AI, and we can't have new technologies with the robots and the flying cars and everything that we're looking at now. So to me, this might be a little bit of an early warning sign. If people aren't buying semiconductors at the rate that they used to, then maybe it's time to get a little bit concerned.
Well, see, there you go. That was my weekly attempt to see if I can put you on the spot with something. I can't disagree with that. It's just worth a note. SMH, to get to the 50 period on the daily, has to drop 10% from here. And you know what? I'm not even sure it would be there if it dropped 10%. It would still be above the 50 period moving average, let alone the 200, which stands $100 lower, $100 underneath the current price. So, there's a heck of a lot that we could have a healthy dip without even going into bear territory there. So I agree with you. I know before we get you out of here, I wanted to ask you about Newegg. This is a stock, I remember when it did moves, it had this weird, I want to program buy thing going on with it, and we used to get lots of questions about what's going on, and all I would ever say was, I don't know. And then when it unwound, it was about as violent as you could possibly imagine. Look at the daily chart. It's starting to break out again. So I know you're a technician. This is the definition of a dead cat bounce. Do you see anything here with Newegg that you like?
Yeah, well, full disclosure, I own some today for a swing trade and a day trade, which is rare that both systems kind of line up for a buy here. But yes, the swing trade system is looked and bought some of this, and this is a weekly system, so I'll be out of this by the end of next week unless something amazing happens and I decide to override the system and hold it a little bit longer. But what the system is looking for, pretty simply, is a larger than normal move, and that's what we saw here last week, right? If we go to kind of a weekly chart, you can see it. But we've had this tight consolidation after, you're right, whatever happened here, I have no idea. It's a post-split thing, so I wonder if the float just got shrunk so much that that's what happened. But we had a long period, a couple months of consolidation, a huge breakout on huge volume last week. And then when it pulled back into this zone, this purple line right here, this was the entry trigger for this particular system, which lines up really well with this prior resistance point that we saw here. So just a little bit of a dip buy in the morning, risking to these lows, understanding that that's a big percentage move because it is, again, a post-split kind of security, right? That's a 20% risk on the trade, but looking just to see if we get a little bit of a bounce and maybe a kind of a slingshot move off of this. I don't know why a company that you order like computer parts from is so crazy, but it's definitely been moving incredibly volatile here.
I mean, the stock's gone from 30 to like 130, back down to 30, and now breaking out again. So I think you found yourself a good one. Wait, I just saw that super chat come up there. Okay, yeah. I don't know if we had one, but the question I was going to ask you, I know everything you trade is systematic, right? So you get the big candle on the weekly as your entry. over at Stats Edge, like how are you working profit taking on that? Because the gap on the daily chart, the gap from this recent breakout to anything resembling a level is like $90 and then $120. Like this thing has a ton of room to run. So how do you work getting out of this thing or taking profit targets?
So for me, unless it's a really long-term trade, which in some instances trailing stops and things make sense, the best that I have personally been able to find so far, right, and this is the work that I always do, is to test new ideas, is time stops, or some people just call it a shot clock, in which I take this setup and I run a kind of a machine learning optimization on it and say, what is the time that you're in the trade that generates the most amount of profits? And the idea is that this particular trade is somewhere between 5 and 10 days. So we basically turn over these positions once a week. And part of the idea behind that is if I just put a profit target out there, it dramatically kind of hurts any sort of system like this, because you're stopping yourself from getting that surprise, you know, this company does do over the next couple of days, goes back to 120, which is incredibly unlikely, but not impossible, that you get those weird outsized moves. So I don't like capping those. And then trailing stops just for short-term trades like this, I just find are a little bit too tight. So yeah, it's a shot clock. And then this is where I'll enter a little bit of discretion. Say, you know, this thing shoots up to over 100 in some surprise news or move or something tomorrow. I would overwrite the system at that point and say, listen, I've made like 60, 70% on my money. I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth, and I'd probably take half to 2/3 off, and then I might move it into a longer term trade. So, you know, I don't allow myself discretion really on what to enter on risk side of things. That's all systematic. The areas that I give myself a little bit of leeway is what to do with really large winners. But say it doesn't move for a week, or even it just moves modestly for a week, then I'll be out and I'll move on. Part of that is just that's the optimal hold time. And the other part is I want to be able to compound. That's one of the main powers we have here as traders, is that, you know, if you make a little money off this and you sell it and you move on, then your pot is bigger that you could potentially compound into further trades.
There you go. And as always, thank you so much for your insights. You just saw Ari Pages in the chat. Loving the beard, which is always the strong beard game, but also the fantastic ideas. Michael, it's always a pleasure. Everyone, you can check him out over there at Stats Edge. And I know we have some people asking that have questions. Sometimes we're able to get to them. You can always find him on X, and Michael's on twice a week. So you can also save your questions, and then we can come back and ask them later. Michael, have a fantastic week. Go Jays, go. Look forward to talking to you on Friday.
Talk to you on Friday. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you to Michael Noss for being here.
And well, we didn't even mention that. I don't know if we said this at any point today. Adara with the green on almost 2% up day on the NASDAQ. Do we now have to think of this, forget about the red and just start buying if you were green?
Well, because red last week on Friday did not work. Unless you were Tesla, in which it actually worked quite well.
True.
But it did not work, generally speaking. So maybe green is the color. Yeah, I just saw apparently someone asking if we could ask Michael about Oscar. Unfortunately, he is gone, but thank you very much for that comment. And hopefully we can ask him next time he's here.
Well, you know what time it is right now? It is 4:30, which does mean, unfortunately, we do have to get into, fortunately, we got to get into our roll call. And if you want to be part of roll call, jump in the chat right now, because if you want to hear your name rhymed off in rapid fashion by Adara, then you got to type something in so it shows it up. But to be in the chat, you have to hit that subscribe button. So hop on in. And look, you know what I'm going to say? It's the World Series. The Jays are in it. So I'm going to say let's go Blue Jays, but you guys can thank anyone on the team, whether it's Fabian, Ramin, Andre, my man Sean, Brendo, who's coming back tomorrow, the Midday Boys, Sharif, and Joe Adara, killing it today on the news, by the way. There was a lot to cover, actually, today.
It was a bit exhausting.
Didn't expect there would be that much, but there was.
No.
So jump in here and say, let's go Blue Jays.
Do. We also got waste management earnings here, guys.
Ooh,
EPS, slight miss here. Revenue, also slight miss, though EPS was up by 1% year over year. Revenue was up by 15% year over year. So yes, a double miss, but up year over year. EPS here for Nucor, NUE, $2.63, well above estimates of $2.16. Revenue similarly beating, and EPS up by a whopping 77% year over year. So NUE really strong. WM a bit tepid, though they did have that double beat. Or sorry, not double beat, growth despite a double miss for WM. NUE double beat, great look. Ed Miller, thank you very much there. Jag D Mag, we've got Chris Compost, we have Hero Flinch, Travman, Hiram Patel, Trader Forever, Erie Pages, Big Dogs Mikes, Hiram Patel again, J Doe, Andrew Chow, we've got Malcolm Aldridge, Adrenaline Angles, Bora, Profits, Yummy Thai Foods, Todd, I love that. Neil, thank you very much. Neil, Lee the Conductor, we have Nick Narosi, why not? Byron Hart, Jazzy, Sir Poopy Paper Hands, Redo Stocks, Trader Forever, why, what not? One Life to Live together. Shout out to One Life to Live. VWAP Trader, Just Do It, Essie's Besties, Rick, Esty, Trader TV Live in the chat. Marlon B, Save Man, Woman, Peace, and thank you all for being here every single day, because guess what, guys? We're going to be back tomorrow. Same time, same channel, Trader TV Live, 8:30 a.m. Don't miss it. So many earnings galore. SoFi, so good.
SoFi, bright and early 31. I know we got PayPal too, and you also have UNH, but hey, actually I own 2 of those 3 stocks, so I probably care about both of them, UNH and SoFi. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. You'll be here at 8:30. We'll be here at 8:30. Enjoy your evening. Go Jays, go. We're Trader TV Live, brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. We'll see you in the morning, everybody. Good luck.
UNH will be fun.